that I've seen. I mean, the weather today is perfect. You see those clouds, those overcasts. That allows for so much moisture, and I would love it if I was able to get some laps in today.
Yeah, it's beautiful right now. So that's Colby Carlisle again. I'm Scotty. Let's go check in with the third member of the crew, Miss Kristen Beat. Kristen, how you doing out there?
Guys, just to state again how badly Colby Carlisle wanted to be on track earlier in our production meeting, he was actually asking, hey guys, can we do that thing where we put the microphone in the helmet? Can I do some Ricky Carmichael hot laps? But as you can see behind me, the Super Twins getting out on track here, Scotty, and something to note, Henry Wiles back in the mix. Can you say that you were surprised by his showing at Daytona? What do you think about that?
You know, Henry Wiles doesn't ever do anything to surprise me. He can manhandle a motorcycle. It would surprise me if he goes out there and gets a podium here today. He said that he might not be, up to, full speed as some of these other guys out here. It's a lot faster racetrack, as you and I found out as we walked the racetrack, Colby.
It was crazy watching the clip of him manhandling at down the back straightaway. Not only him, but that clip of him was just so prominent, showing how hard and how strong he had to be to keep that thing underneath him. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he can do here today. Earlier on in the week, I was kind of leaning towards what you were saying, a podium here would be really impressive and a lot more unlikely than at Daytona. But after seeing the track and seeing the weather that we're dealing with here today, I think, there's a chance that Kawasaki could find the level of grip that it needs. It's just, man, it would be fun to race today. I just can't keep that smile off my face thinking about it.
Kristen, what do you think about Henry Wiles?
Guys, I like what I see out of Henry. When I spoke to him earlier, he even mentioned you'll have to be scrappy here. And I'm having some audio issues too, so I'm going to let you guys go.
You can hear the rev limiters on some of these bikes, Colby, before they shut off the throttle. Where do you want the rev limiter to start here?
Well, here, unlike Daytona, a lot of those guys hit it right out of the corner. But at a track like this, towards the end, obviously towards the end of the straightaway, but it helps slow you down a little bit going into the corner, and it can kind of control your power. But these guys, a lot of them are probably hitting the limiter. Like I was talking to Breyer and Coolbeth earlier, and Breyer was talking about how he was just going to be slapping limiter on that Harley-Davidson going in the corner because it's such a fast track today with the sunlight being so low and so much moisture being in the track.
Looks like Breyer is pulling off a little bit. Looked like a little cat and mouse is going on. Dallas pulled over and let Breyer go, and it looks like now Breyer may have an issue with his Harley-Davidson.
Yeah, it could be also, too, like I said, just the gearing so far off. You don't want to put too much wear and tear on that engine.
And Breyer, this is only his third time to race an XG Harley out here. He's, rode KTMs the last few years, and he's never raced an XG Harley-Davidson until this season.
No, and I think it's a great choice. I really, really loved riding my Harley-Davidson when I owned one in 22. I thought it was a very fun motorcycle, and wow, let's just, Scotty just pointed to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out here. Your old ride, the G&G Yamaha, goes to the top spot, 17.975 for James Ott.
I told him, I said, I didn't do much. I wasn't good for much last year, but I did whole shot. But dang, man, he took that literally, putting it right at the top right now at 17.975.
Are you sure you don't want to go out there and race?
No.
Okay,
I'm guaranteed to go home sitting here in this booth right now.
So that's your old motorcycle. I mean, you're still sure you like to sit here instead?
Yeah, man. I got no crutches right now, no cane. I'm just walking perfect. But man, James Ott, what a killer run there. And
what does something like that do for your confidence?
Oh, it
I mean, I know it's only practice.
Yeah, it's only practice. Allen Iverson, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about practice, right?
That's right.
But seriously, I mean, as a kid like that, if I were to do something like that, you're going back there, your smile's huge, and you try not to let it, cook too much on you. You want to keep calm, but wow, that's cool.
Let's check in again with Kristen Beat. She's down there roaming around the pits. Kristen, what's up?
Let's see if this is any better. Yeah, this is great right now. So we just saw Dan Bromley in the 62 roll off, and if you guys think back to Daytona and you remembered the cut, the laceration that he sustained to his foot, guys, I'm surprised he's racing here today. I was surprised he was racing day 2 at Daytona. Scotty, it's just a testament to how tough these guys really are.
Yeah, one of the older announcers, Donnie Bargeman, would say they're tougher than a $2 steak, and Colby, he had a laceration, like Kristen said, across the top of his foot, just behind his steel shoe.
Yeah, so I talked to Dan earlier. I wanted to catch up and see how the foot was healing. It's been a few weeks since that. And he said that he does not have any feeling in his middle toe anymore. So when it cut through all the cartilage, he lost feeling in his middle toe. But the doctor said, not really important for the middle toe. You need your pinky toe, basically, for balance, and you need your 2 right toes, your big toe, for strength, grip strength against the wall. So he said middle toe is borderline useless.
So, yeah. Well, oh, red flag is out here. We're going to shut him down. So I said Donnie Bargeman. It's Donnie Bargeman, tougher than a $2 steak. That's how he'd say it. We do have a pile up over here.
Oh, man, that's Ben Lowe coming back for his first race here today. He's stuck underneath the Yamaha.
That's his own Yamaha. There's another bike stuck on top of it. The 27 is also in the pileup. Wyatt Vaughn. And Ben's trying to get that bike out. And he's just, nope. Now Eisenhardt's going to help him out and lift it up off his foot. There you go. Oh, his steel shoe was hung up on the. Yeah, look at that. Hops right back on the bike.
Actually, at this, I mean, that exact same corner 2 years ago, Brandon Robinson crashed almost in the same spot. He high-sided and he got stuck underneath his bike. So I quickly sat my bike down and ran over to, flip his bike off him. That's such a terrible feeling, being helpless.
And that's what we do in our sport. I mean, I know it's your competitor, but you don't want to see anybody laying trapped underneath the bike, because those bikes are hot.
I mean,
wheels are spinning and all that fun stuff.
That could be your worst enemy.
Well, Kristen's down there with the kind of going to be the new leader of the points right now, or is the leader because Cody Kopp isn't here. That's Tom Drain. Kristen, how's it going down there?
Not yet. We'll see how tonight goes, Scotty Dubler. We don't want to push up those points anymore. But, Tom, I wanted to talk to you about Sam, your brother, Sam Drain, running in the Talent Cup today at Moto America over at COTA. How proud were you of your brother earning a podium there?
Yeah, he did really good. It's good to see him doing good over there. He was riding really good. He was in a good battle there, and he was able to come out with a third. So that's definitely a good way to start the year off for him.
When you talked to your younger brother, did you give him any advice leading into that race?
I sort of just told him good luck. He knows what to do. He's a pretty good rider. He's definitely learning a lot, and he just needed to just track time. More and more he goes out, I feel he just get better and better.
Do you have any feedback for him after that race? Anything he could have done better?
He did everything pretty good. There's a few things he's just got to go back and work on, but I feel he'll come back stronger for race 2.
Let's talk about you today here. You were on the podium in Senoia last season, and this season I know you're looking for that W, you're looking for the win, but with Cody Kopp out, and obviously we saw him earlier a couple weeks ago in Daytona, but he's out this weekend. Do you see an opening in that spot for you?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like even if Cody was here this weekend, we would have been really strong. I feel like we got the pace to win it, and just got to go out there and every session just work forwards and get it done tonight.
Well, best of luck to you today, Tom, and obviously we'll continue following Sam Drain throughout the race weekend as well as he's racing over in COTA. So imagine being their dad. Imagine being Mr. Drain this weekend, having 2 kids on 2 different bikes in 2 different series racing professionally.
Yeah, that's one thing to think about too. And then Dallas Daniels, his dad, is actually with Sam in Texas, and so Dallas is here without his father. So it's kind of hard when there's so many races going on in different places, and you have part of the team is here, part of it's in Texas.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. There's only so many places you can be at once, right?
Put your big boy pants on, right?
We haven't quite gotten to cloning yet, so Dad's got to pick. And, Dallas is in good hands here with the team, but he's going for the first win here. Jared Meese got the best of him the past 2 years. Today he is going for the top step, trying to move up the one final step to the top of the box.
And they are replacing the airbag, which is something they don't want to do. Somebody said looks like they're dragging somebody off the track, but I don't know. Old school. We are in Senoia, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta.
It's like a trampoline.
Have you bounced off of one of those before?
It doesn't bounce like a trampoline, I'll tell you that.
The other end of the truck's having some fun. All right, let's check in with Kristen. Kristen's got another fast guy down there in the singles class.
A very fast guy down here in the singles class, Chase Sadoff. Last year he was on the podium here in Senoia, Georgia, but this morning I caught him in line at the donut shop. Literally, Heritage Donuts, if you guys are out here, they are so amazing. I brought some for the TV truck. My dad and I had some on the way over here. But Chase was telling me, now get this, guys, that he didn't have one. So I don't believe it, but I know you've been really focusing on the diet plan this week. And despite seeing you in line at the donut shop, Jason Fuller, if you're watching, Chase has told me he did not partake. I, however, did. I apologize.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we need to restart that. I caught you at the donut shop. But yeah, I've definitely been trying to take my diet serious. I was with my girlfriend this morning. I took her there and just happened to run into you. But got to stay focused right now. If I get a win tonight, maybe I can get a donut tomorrow.
So that's the motivation right now. We're winning for the donuts. We're going to go ahead and do a little walk and talk down here. We've got some time. So, Jordan, if you want to roll with me as they are still refilling this airbag, let's see who's down here. Let's see if we can grab Dallas Daniels real quick. He's in the paddock. I'm sure still probably watching all the Moto America action at COTA. He likes to plug in and watch some of those. Dallas, you got some laps around this track. What I find really interesting, you guys have had 3 different tracks here at Senoia over the last 3 years. The first year they resurfaced it. The second year we had that rain delay. There were some holes. It was a different track. And now we have, I think, the track that we started coming to Senoia for today. How are you responding to it?
The first session, I feel like, for the Super Twins guys is just kind of a washout. Like, not a washout. You're shaking down everything. You're shaking down the track. And it's when you're the first ones on the track, it's just you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt because more than likely next time you go out, it's going to be a lot different. But for me, just trying to get the gearing right, trying to get somewhat of a grasp on a setup. You know, we kind of have some good notes coming in here from the last 2 years, and just keep plugging away. You know, these sessions are really quick, so we've got to make the most of them. But no, it's just, you know, like I said, that first session is a little bit of a wash for us. It's really the second one where we get after it.
Dallas, looking towards this portion of the season, is there a track you're really looking forward to?
Honestly, this one I had marked on my calendar a bit just because I came here years ago back in 2019 when it was like just an amateur race, and I really liked the track, and I always was like, man, I hope that becomes a national someday. And when it did, it was super cool, and had a great battle with Jared that first year, and this last year he beat us too. And so I just wanted to conquer this place. Like it's kind of like just one of those that was nagging at me like Lima and whatnot, that I just really like this racetrack. We click well with it, and just you know, I just enjoy coming here. So I really had this one circled, but this whole swing looks fun. I'm ready to go out to California and do those 2. Those are some super cool races, and new one after that, and then we kind of get going. So no, just I'm looking forward to a few actually.
Best of luck today, Dallas. Thanks.
Dallas look pretty good. Looks like they're making a few changes on those motorcycles. So while we're replacing the airbag fence, we'll take a little break in the action. When we come back, more practice out here at the Yamaha Senoia Short Track just outside Atlanta. Bikes are back on the track at the Yamaha Senoia Short Track. We are doing Trackside Live, and we got a new quick time as we were away, and there he is, the 62 of Dan the Man Bromley.
Dan Bromley just talking about his toe. The toe not needed at all to go to quick time and knock James Ott down one spot.
It's practice.
I know, we're talking practice. Allen Iverson.
But look where he's at. He's on the very bottom of the track trying something different. Short away. He reaches over there and tries to give a high five to Big P.
Yeah, Big P would have hit that. It would have been a 60-mile-an-hour high five, probably 80. Big P would have regretted that one instantly.
And Dan might have too.
On the fingers.
Yeah.
No, Dan would have been all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
He said that people are giving him a hard time calling him talons because his toes were so long in that picture he put out there on social media.
I got the same thing. They're called tingers.
Tingers?
Yeah.
Toe fingers?
Yeah.
Tingers.
Yeah, I got some tingers.
Not easy to be pushed over?
Got good grip.
On what? The floor?
Everything.
On the foot peg. The foot peg.
All of it.
That's Colby Carlisle. I'm Scotty Dubler. We are practicing out here at Senoia. The short track looks really good on that gray clay.
It does gray Georgia clay, not red Georgia clay.
Man, I've always known it as Georgia's red dirt, just like Oklahoma.
Interesting. When you're out there looking at the track, you can actually see like red clay in the gray clay a little bit, like spots where it was broken up. There was bits of red peeking through because traditionally in Georgia, like you said, I mean, you see it right there. It's all red clay.
Red clay, but yep, there's gray clay on top of the red clay.
It's hard to see too when you're racing here. The clay, the color of it's hard to see because the gray and black don't really change that much.
It's like slate. Let's check in again with Kristen B.
The singles bikes out on the track right now. I had the opportunity to check in with Dalton Gauthier earlier in the day. Now, their crew chief, their team manager, their car chief, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's a Robbie Bobby. He is not here this weekend. He's usually a vital component of Dalton Gauthier's program. That means Dalton Gauthier is wrenching on those bikes by himself. It just so happens my dad is here. He might be helping him a little bit throughout this weekend, checking on clutch and all that. But Dalton Gauthier is the kind of rider who just kind of rides it as it is. He doesn't need a lot of adjustments, but it is difficult for these privateer teams to operate without the few staff that they have. So this weekend, that could be challenging for Dalton Gauthier. He also told me he does not intend on making that West Coast swing. He will not be at Chico. He will not be at Ventura. So trying to make the most out of the time he has on that bike right now. He was supposed to switch to the Triumph this weekend, but they just didn't have enough time to get that bike ready. So back on the KTM, but this will likely be the last time we see Dalton for a few rounds and on the KTM.
And on top of that, Kristen, I was told from the pit area down there that him and Morgan are working on a twin for some of the races later this year.
That is confirmed. They are working on developing a twins program, but I am really personally excited to see the Triumph in the singles class too. So just a lot of exciting news for Dalton Gauthier, but again, sad we won't see him in California.
Yeah, for sure. Also, on the motorcycles, on the D&D cycles this weekend is the 13 of Morgan Mishler, who was not at Daytona. Colby, they're on the bottom of the racetrack. We walked the whole thing. We were up high. Let's go to the high side.
Well, we did the stats. We broke the level out. We got the compass out. You know, we were checking. It's 5 degrees of banking at the bottom of the track.
So why are the singles running down there?
Got 13 degrees up top. Let's move up. But talking about Dalton there, man, racing with Dalton on a track like this was such a problem because he has such a good natural talent for roll speed. Like, he just, by that, I mean, he can just go into the corner and not touch the brake and just let the thing just coast. And, man, it's such a problem for guys like me because he could roll around the outside of us and just keep up the pace.
And so, for you didn't have as much middle corner speed? Is that what you're saying?
Just, he was better at it.
Okay.
You know, and that's just kind of racing. You know, you've got guys that are better here and there. And little look back at Chase Sadoff.
The
finishing
88.
up on top of the board, and these guys are about 0.4 of a second faster.
He was just off the bottom, so he's right in between the bottom line and the middle line, and the back end kept trying to step out. You could see how low air pressure he's running that rear Dunlop tire, kind of bouncing up and down a little bit. Working our way through our only round of practice out here today. Oh, it looks like, I'm sorry, we have, yeah, this first round of practice. We do have 2 rounds of practice today, so at Daytona they had 1 round.
You're right.
Well, they did have the practice day the day before.
We're not going
Daytona.
nuts. Not yet. It's only the 3rd round.
We're not going nuts?
Yeah, wait till we get to Lima, you know.
It's just practice.
Just practice. AI.
How about Kitchen right there? He had a 10th place finish down there at Daytona.
Able to grab one, and he's going to have 2 digits next year, man. What a feeling that's got to be. I wonder what he's going to pick.
0.5. Can't do that. I'm just kidding.
I read the rule book.
You read the rule book? A time or two?
While I was at work.
You have a job?
Well, I hope, if you're listening, boss, no, I didn't. It was lunch break.
Lunch break, like when you talk your conference call on Wednesday?
That was a long lunch break.
Well, how long do you get?
We don't get any.
You don't get any lunch break?
No, man.
They just expect you to work all the way through it?
They're working us. But this is the good job. This is where I'd love to be, in the booth here with you guys, back here in the American Flat Track paddock with all my friends. And man, what a racetrack.
How about Justin Anselmi, a rider from Lodi, California, getting the ride on the Waters Auto Body team?
Yeah, speaking of Waters, how about that? Selling their business, going into full retirement, and still supporting the sport, you know, being able to... What a dream to be able to build your life, to be able to, you know, go to retirement and still be able to do what you and your wife and, you know, the whole family loves to do. It's really cool. Local family up by me, where I grew up in New York, Western New York. Had an auto body shop there in Albion, New York. Very successful business. You know, they just sold it. I can't remember if it was this past year or a few years ago, but now just traveling around, helping out Owen Kissler and Justin Anselmi.
I saw the video when they did their final walkthrough and locked the doors earlier this year. So for their final time, they handed the keys over to the new owners.
I used to drive by there every time. You know, we'd go race Medina TT 5 times a year, and I'd drive by the Waters Auto Body Shop every time to see on my way to the track. And Medina TT, you ever been there?
I never have. It's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I know. Even my buddy Carter went there.
It's killer.
It looks like natural terrain. Natural terrain.
Yeah, man. It's kind of like Peoria in a way, like they use the natural terrain of the earth. No jump, but the hills. It's so cool. You click the thing from 3rd to 4th at the top of the hill and just let it zing down the hill.
Cool. Sounds like there's one of the tracks in Illinois kind of like that. They only,
I think you talking BET?
No, I'm talking about Neoga.
Yeah, Little Hill there. Yeah,
that's got some natural terrain to it. Oh, Ian Wolf on the number 57 said he got him some new leather, so he just has 57 on the back. Took the 157 off finally. He said he did that for me.
For you, yeah.
And the rule book.
Okay, yeah.
I like that. That's Colby. The Flying Tomato sitting beside me. You still like that?
No, I don't know, man. It's.
How about the 2017 AFT Singles Champ? That sounds better.
That's cool. Now that I'm retired, I like that. Yeah. But
so you are officially retired?
Yeah, no, we're done. That's why I made that video.
All right, I made
the video specifically so that I could never come back to AFT racing. Nothing against it. I just wanted, like, for myself, and just was done. It was my time.
The 13 of Morgan Mishler rolling out there. First time we've seen him this year. And Justin Bender, first time we've seen him. He was in the Super Twins class last year, was up there battling for that Rookie of the Year last year. And now that Bender's out there on the number 70, Declan Bender on that First Impressions bike.
Declan Bender, yeah. It's going to be great. You know, he was not able to have anything for Daytona, stayed home from that, missed that event. But back here, and I honestly think he's going to do very well on that Husqvarna, similar to his KTM that he's raced on in the past, and his personal bike is, you know, that KTM, the Husqvarna, same steel chassis. Here, steel chassis is going to do really well, and for him to just be able to take an opportunity when it's available, and, you know, it's time to make the most of it. This is only a one-day deal from what I've heard. You know, this is it. So if he's able to grab a podium or a win, you know, maybe Eric Coit with First Impressions will roll this thing on.
There's a shot of a 101, one of the rookies out here letting it all hang out. The 101 is Caleb Martin. There's Killswitch, the 43, Jacob Vandekoy, the younger brother of Jared Vandekoy. That is a racing family. I thought I was in a racing family. That Vandekoy family, I think everybody in that family races something.
That is a
or
racing
has
family.
Raced.
I was giving him a lot of heat after Daytona. I was messing with him, saying, dude, we gotta pick it up. He had some oil. There were some issues with the bike. We were trying to get it dialed in. Daytona wasn't great, but I feel like this is a track that he'll be able to get, you know, do better on, more roll speed, just keep the momentum up.
A little bit different than the tracks in Ohio. A lot of the Ohio tracks are loose.
Yeah, and we're up to 13th already. I know it's practice, but already a better start than Daytona.
Yep. There goes the 43 to the bottom of the racetrack, the shorter way around. Did you watch any of the basketball games last night, Colby?
Last night, no.
Oh, you got in late. You had to pick up. Who'd you pick up at the airport?
Arizona State was not playing, like Brad just mentioned. Unfortunately, Arizona is playing. Arizona State, you know, big college playoff run, though. Brad, just, you know, I don't know who your team is, but I don't know if we saw them in the playoffs or not.
He plays for the Outsiders. But Brad played football at Penn State, but he cheers for Duke in basketball. So I think he hit his head too many times.
Yeah, you know what I like to call that, Scotty? A fair weather fan. only when the weather's good. And I'll tell you what, the weather is good here in Senoia.
Especially at the front of the truck. Speaking of having fun out here comes a new class, the American V-Twin class, and they're rolling onto the racetrack. And I got to say, congrats to the number 4. That's Alex Childs. His wife, Whitney, just had a baby 2 days ago, Letty Jane. He's going to stop and pick her up and take her home after the race tonight.
She'd kill me.
Your wife would, huh?
Oh,
you don't even have a wife, and she would still kill you.
Yeah, she'd kill me.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No.
No.
No,
he better win.
Well, I hope he was he was there for the birth.
Yeah, I hope. But, I mean, I'm sure he was. But if you don't show up to the pick your wife up with a trophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Letty Jane.
Letty Jane.
That's a cool story. Yeah. If he was able to grab a win or a podium, what a story that would be to remember.
Track taking a little bit of rubbers. These big hogs are getting up to full speed right now. It's an invitational only class. Only 12 riders will attempt to race out here in this class.
Would you take a run on one of these?
I rode an 883 Sportster. There was actually an 883 class back probably before you were born.
There's a video on YouTube of I think someone snaps one in half at Hagerstown. Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson and Brian Smith was in that crash.
Yeah.
And that was a gnarly.
Jake Johnson was in the crash.
Yeah. Yeah, Willie McCoy rode those, and Scott Stump rode those things.
Yeah, that's a name notorious.
Stumpy, yeah.
I think of that.
Yeah. So that was a fun class. My favorite part about that class, I never fell off, so I never had to pick it up. I'd have to phone a friend.
Yeah.
Those things are heavy.
There was some cheating with those too. There were some sneaky little things. I've heard. Someone I was talking to last year, they were telling me a story that they had to go to tech, and they were switching around gaskets when the tech inspectors weren't looking after they pulled the jugs off.
Wow. There's Bubba Boswell, number 99 from Boswell's Harley Davidson. They actually sponsored Brandon Robinson at the Daytona Short Track earlier this year.
That was neat. I actually talked to them. I was almost looking into getting myself a Harley Davidson street bike.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to do it. I got one. We go ride.
An ST, lowrider ST. That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, right on. Cool.
When I won in 17, I got a XSR 900 Yamaha street bike. It's a 3-cylinder, way too fast.
When you won the championship?
Yeah, way too fast.
Did Tim buy that for you, or?
It was a deal. We worked it out.
All right. Too much information?
But actually, I guess we'll dive into it quick. So I said I wanted it, and he, if I won, we made a deal. If I win, would you get this for me? And we agreed on it, and then it showed up to the house before the championship.
Oh, wow. So then you had to win.
Well,
then you had to win the championship.
I don't like that kind of pressure. I mean, man, I'm a karma guy, and I didn't like that. But the story was I've had it for 8 years now or whatever, and I've only ridden 800 miles. Oh, wow. So buying a Harley might not be my best idea. I don't know. I'm not a big street guy.
I have a 2007, and it only gets ridden usually at Daytona and at Sturgis. When I'm at home, it's I don't even have time to do it. But I used to be in the Harley Davidson business for a while selling products, and so I had to have a Harley.
I got a thought. So how about I get my Harley, you bring yours, we'll get Kristen beat a Harley,
okay,
and we'll burn Sturgis down that week.
We'll have some fun at Sturgis. So that is our first round of practice in the books out here. It's the Yamaha Senoia Short Track. Round 1 of practice is in the books. Up next will be a quick break. We'll have round number 2 coming up in just a moment. We're having some fun out here at Senoia. Cloudy, beautiful day for racing. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the American Flat Track Series. And I have got the American Motorcycling Club, the Antique Motorcycling Club of America, Smoky Mountains chapter, here with me now. And I was walking through some of these bikes. I love this 1945 Harley Davidson, but they've got a couple bikes on display. Tell me more about the club.
Yeah, well, we cover from Chattanooga to Huntsville, Alabama, to Birmingham, Alabama, Carrollton, Georgia, Marietta, Georgia.
And by the way, this is the president.
Yes.
So, do you have a favorite bike out here?
Well, this bike is mine right here, the 38, and the 1945 is mine as well.
The 45 was my favorite.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you. That's good.
It's a good-looking Harley Davidson. Any other bikes out here that you guys want to showcase? I think some of these are so fun, like this 1946 Chief Indian. So, Indian, very much a part of American Flat Track Series history and story.
For sure. That's not my bike, but that's Roy's, one of our members. So, yeah, he's had that bike a while.
It's a beautiful bike. And, guys, you can check all this out here in the Fan Zone in Senoia, Georgia for the American Flat Track Series race. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. But, guys, some awesome bikes. Scotty, I want to get your reaction. Do you have a favorite bike? Let's walk down the line. You and Colby, pick yours. Because I picked mine. Mine's a 1945 Harley we saw back there. But anything catch your eye, Scotty?
I like that blue one right there, that dual glide right there. That's beautiful.
That looks
blue.
about your speed.
Yeah, a little slower, a little lower. Kickstarter on there. Can you find some boiled peanuts out there for the truck? The guys on the other end of the truck are getting hungry.
Is that the request? You guys want boiled peanuts? I will go find
the
where
other
the snacks
end of the
are.
truck.
Listen, you don't got to talk this girl into having a snack.
I'm not
so
eating
I'll try to
boiled
go out there and
peanuts.
find where those are at.
I used to try those at Daytona every year, and I'm like,
I don't know.
Just can't do it.
Our meeting, there was a huge divide, boiled peanuts.
Yeah.
I've never had them. So, Kristen, if you wouldn't mind, bring back a handful. I don't need to invest in a whole bag, but I need to pick my side. You know, it's a world divided now for peanuts.
The other end of the truck
do you guys
would eat a
want
bunch
to
of
walk with
them.
me? We might as well. And Jordan, I don't know if you can get a shot. Look at the Fan Fest out here. There are so many cool things to check out. And you've got the Yancey Caterpillar. I know when I was a kid, you could not get me out of my dad's Bobcat when he was doing any work around the house. You know, I wanted to hop in that thing and play pretend tractor for a little bit. So Yancey Caterpillar.
Kristen, are the dogs out there? Are the dogs out there yet, Kristen?
The dogs are not out here yet. I did a site check. They will be out here a little bit later, but 2 different rescues. So if you have a family and you're interested in adopting a furry friend, 2 different rescues will be out here tonight. I know I will make my way back out here solely for that. But okay, so let's check out the eats out here. We've got an ice cream truck.
All right. You got to have ice cream.
An ice cream truck. What was your favorite ice cream, Scotty?
All of them?
All of them. That sounds about right.
Yep. No, mint chocolate chip. If I go pick
We've
one,
got
it's
our
mint
good
chocolate
friend
chip.
Lauren from Kicker Audio. What's up, my friend? How are you?
How are you?
What's going on? So what can we check out here under the Kicker tent today?
Oh, man.
Give me a little build from a ride.
Oh, what do you want? I mean, we've got Harley bag lids that we're famous for. We build ourselves. Incredible kit. Micro amps specifically for bikes.
And by the way, an American-based company. A lot of it comes out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, the heartland of America, Kicker Audio.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Our world headquarters, Stillwater, Oklahoma. Great bunch of people back there. Great family. And, man, we got everything from your side-by-side stuff that you need, power bars, sound bars, all the way up to factory replacement speakers for your Harley.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys, by the way, as we continue walking, thanks so much, Lauren, my favorite Kicker Audio product, they make these things called a bullfrog, and they are basically bulletproof. They are indestructible. They can fall in the water, and they will keep playing music for you. And I've gone through 2 or 3, not just for myself, but I give them as gifts for Christmas. They are the most awesome speakers you will find. And, you know, I think the snacks are up this way. Are we genuinely looking for the peanuts? Are you guys coming with me for this journey? But the TV truck says, yes, we're going for this. Whew, I'm getting my steps in today. But speaking back to Kicker, the Bullfrog, one of the best speakers you can find on the market. And trust me, we do everything between going out and hunting or going horseback riding, out here at the track. The Bullfrog. If you guys are looking for anything audio related from Kicker, it's the Bullfrog. It's awesome.
Kristen, I heard that the Boiled Peanuts salesman is also the singer of the national anthem. True or false?
I'm 3 seconds away from finding that out. I just got a thumbs up. So these are Big Daddy's hot boiled peanuts. Big Daddy? Well, my daddy's here this weekend, so I can't call you daddy this weekend.
Not this weekend.
Not this weekend. My daddy's here. Bikes happen to be on track, by the way, but we'll come back to this. Guys, stay tuned. Bikes are out on track.
Yeah, for sure. So she's going to get some boiled peanuts as the Super Twins are back on the racetrack. Second round of practice. This is Trackside Live. I'm Scotty Dubler. For you folks, we did have some audio issues. They have been worked out. We appreciate everybody's patience. I'm Scotty Dubler up here in the booth. Beside me is the 2017 AFT Singles Champion. And Colby, you said that you were glad to be back at this racetrack, but you're not out there. We tried.
No, in the first 2 years, this is definitely the best shape I've seen it in, man. The weather, like I said, I'll probably say it all day, it's just beautiful for racing motorcycles. Last year, the track, we had to end up racing on Sunday because it rained too much on Saturday. The track kind of fell apart a little bit, just not as racy. This year, we are in for an absolute treat of a day of motorcycle racing, Scotty.
Yeah, this is Trackside Live. So we're just kind of hanging out, watching what's unfolding in front of us, talk about what's going on. So you didn't get to watch. Who did you pick up at the airport last night? Big Al?
Yeah, Big Al. I left 2 hours before. I left at 5 a.m. and he could have rode with me, but he decided he wanted to spend $400 on a plane ticket, and he lives 10 minutes from me.
Well, now on the Ryan Barnes bike. He's on the 14. That was Cam Smith's ride until this weekend. And Cam Smith goes back to his own Yamaha with help from Fredericktown Yamaha, Fredericktown, Maryland. And look, they're side by side.
Yeah, good buddy of mine, Ian Riley, at home. I am sure he is listening. Got to work with him a little bit earlier this year, but interesting them switching rides. Basically, Cameron going back to his own bike. And I talked to him earlier today. He's got a little bit more comfort on his own bike. You know, he's been able to get some more results. The big difference there, besides the engine's fly-by-wire, the KTM has an electronic throttle, basically. There's no actual cables going from his wrist down to the throttle body in the engine, where on the Yamaha, you actually turn the cables. So more of a traditional feel, and something he just says that gives him back to what he's used to doing.
And did you ever run one of the electronic ones? I've always had a throttle cable. I've never even dreamed of running without one.
Yeah, even my street bike has a throttle cable still. I've touched these guys in the pits. They're fly-by-wire throttles just to see, but I'd really like to hop on a bike that has one just so I can get a first-hand account of what it feels like.
Kristen, what do you know about those?
Talk more about Dan Bromley being on that Suzuki, guys. I'm kind of curious what your take is. We know that Suzuki isn't the powerhouse brand that it used to be back in the 90s, but it is having a resurrection, whether it be in Supercross or here in American Flat Track. Dan Bromley has really put the bike at the front, and he's been impressive even in Daytona qualifying prior to the injury he sustained. And in Supercross, Ken Roxon's been doing so well with it. I had a chance to talk to Chris Wheeler, who is head of Suzuki. Sorry, little audio issue. We're finding the best spots, but I'm curious, what do you make of the brand in American Flat Track this year?
Well, I like it. I like he started with a different power plant. I think the new rule package, opening it up, I think we're going to see some more Kawasaki's out here. We see the Honda doing well with Trent Lowe behind the handlebars, and I think it's going to open up for even some other brands will be here before the season's over.
The Suzuki needed it too. Like Dan Bromley at Ozark, he rode an I don't know what year it would have been, but it was an SV650 from probably the mid-2000s. I mean, a very old motorcycle, still with carburetors on it. So Suzuki had just come out with this new engine package, this 800 fly-by-wire throttle. He says that it makes, in the 90s horsepower and a really good torque. But the thing about this bike that makes it so good, in his opinion, is that it's a very smooth torque curve. So the dyno curve's very smooth, meaning you get traction to the ground.
Taking a look at the replay and watch Santero. That's partly to do with the banking of the straightaway, and you're supposed to line up straight, pointing towards that first corner. And when you drop the clutch, sometimes the back end slides down the banking. That'll be something we'll keep an eye on all night long here, Colby.
I wasn't paying attention enough because I told Taryn how to start. I specifically talked to him and told him how to start on this track, so I'm going to have to...
So you want me to go talk to him then?
I don't know. I guess. It didn't work with me. Maybe he was trying something. Maybe it was just a spoof. I don't know. But thanks for showing me that, guys. I'll have some talking to do after we get done here.
So on a 450 that we have out here right now, do you start in second gear on this type of racetrack?
I was a first gear starter traditionally on 450s. Yeah, on the Twin, I started in second gear, just 1 gear closer, shift up to third, and then you're going. The 450s, just the torque for me at least, it was easier to start in first. I was really good about controlling the clutch on the way out. But if you have a tendency to drop the clutch, being in second gear would be better because then you have less torque.
Well, I would think just slipping the clutch longer in second gear and then only having to shift one time, that saves you a little bit of time sometimes.
Yeah, just all rider preference a lot at that point.
Right.
And the clutch wear, being in second gear, wear the clutch out more. Dragging it out that far into the first corner, but
the way these singles are riding are making this track very round because they're going in so low and then drifting up to the wall, and it looks like they're running a big circle.
And the times are getting closer. Last time the 450s were quite a bit faster than the Twins were. Now in this session, the 450 is only 1/10 of a second faster than James Ott. You see that guy? See that kid flagging in the top left corner there?
Yeah.
I used to do that. I used to do that.
Last year?
No. Good one. Mom made me my own personal set of flags.
Yeah.
So like back at this track in Geneva, New York, Paradise Speedway, when I was not racing, there'd be sprint cars and stuff. So I'd be up in the stands flagging. And
you had your whole set and everything?
I was the little Big P, dude.
Did you wear goggles and everything?
No. I was hardcore. Just take it.
Just take it like the man.
But I could have been Big P.
Maybe when you grow up.
Maybe I should. Maybe I'll bring those flags. We'll get me out there for a session.
Well, we can practice in here.
No, we'll give them to Kristen. We'll get Kristen out there.
Yes, and she could be the backup flag man.
Yeah,
we can have one
back
on the back straightaway and one on the front straightaway.
Yeah, I like it.
I do too. There's the pond back in the back outside of the pit area. Let's check in with Kristen. Kristen, do you want to be a flag lady when you grow up?
Backup flagger?
No,
You didn't even give
an
me
assistant.
starting flagger?
Assistant.
What are you guys thinking? Backup.
Well, you're going to use
backup. I'm bringing you peanuts.
not me.
I'm bringing you peanuts.
You're not bringing me
backup
any
flagger.
peanuts. That's for sure. You're going to use
Well, listen,
Colby's little flags.
I'm coming at you guys hot right now.
Are you? Well, I just heard the door open.
Yeah.
I thought she
in.
was here. There goes the flag man. There he goes running down the track.
I'm delivering you guys stuff. You make peanut requests. I've got sweet tea that you're not even going to see now because, oh yeah, I was coming in with all the kindness and y'all called me a backup flagger. I'm a starter.
It's all about tryouts. I started the process trying out to be an announcer in 22. It took me 2.5 years to get here. And
But
here
you
we
would
are.
stop getting hurt, and that's when you came in the booth. Is when you got hurt at Lima or
exactly.
before Lima, right?
So we're gonna get you out there on the backstretch.
See how it goes.
That's funny. Thank you so much, Kristen. Let's turn that around. Those peanuts I'm really looking forward to.
There's the flagman on the left. Yeah, he's got it going pretty good. Bet he comes out here for
It's
all
a
the
real
car
thing.
races.
Oh yeah. I bet at the car races there's a ton of them.
Oh yeah. There's a good shot from up above.
All these guys bunching up. Nobody wanting to ride alone. Check out that drone shot.
Not as big as a circle, but you can see they're drifting wide and then trying to round it off a little bit. You can see the go-kart track up there. And a little bit later, Johnny Lewis is going to have a slide school over there during our little break between 4:30 and 7:30.
Yep, on the new 450 Royal Enfield. Man, I would like to try that.
You want to try the slide school or you want to try to ride that 450?
Both, but I think me and you should race.
On the slide?
Yeah,
on the go-kart track?
I don't think it's fast enough where we could get hurt.
Anything with the motor is fast enough to get hurt, Colby.
I'm optimistic.
All right. Did you go to Ryan Wells' pit area? Did you go to Ryan Wells' pit area and see the gold leaf in his graphics kit?
I didn't, but I'm just astonished looking at the scoreboard right now. Ethan Kitchen, top of the board, man.
So he's
rookies.
He's on the momentum train from getting a top 10 at Daytona 2.
What's going on with the rookies today? Just what I think's going on.
You asked. Now answer.
There's so much excitement in the booth today. Sorry, everyone at home. But seriously, what I think's going on, I think the track just has a ton of grip in it right now, and it's allowing an even playing field. Like, you look at the times between 1 and 14th, they're all within 0.03 of a second. I think the track has a ton of grip. I think it's riding really fast, and I think it's allowing everyone to put in just good lap times. I mean,
wow.
All day I've been talking about how exciting this racing is going to be, and it is coming to it.
So it did slow down just a little bit. The bag of peanuts is here. It's being specially delivered. And they're still warm, Colby.
I thought we were going to get a special delivery from Kristen Beat.
Oh, had Zach brought the special snack over here. Yep. Same colored hair, just a different person.
Yeah, let me get prepped for this. We'll wait till the 450s are all done, and then we'll do this little taste test.
So far, Ethan Kitchen fastest in the second round, 1:07.60. There's a look at the go-kart track, and here comes group number 3. There was 31 riders signed up. Looks like only 29 of them didn't make it here to this one, including the 13 of Morgan Mishler, who was not at the season opener.
How old were you when you started racing professionally?
Too old. I started flat track way too late in life. I did bicycle motocross first, and then motocross, and then flat track when I was probably around 18. So it was later.
When did you start riding dirt bikes then?
Well, I started riding a dirt bike. I was taught how to ride a motorcycle from Graham and Pa in Sioux Falls when I was about 4 or 5 years old. And then I raced go-karts as a little kid. I don't know. I was always at the racetrack, but I never wanted to go fast and turn left. I don't know. Later in life deal.
I started late too.
Really?
I didn't start till I was 10 or 11 years old.
Okay. Well, that's late now compared to people starting at 5 years old.
2 years.
racing.
I mean, look at Corey Texter's kid.
Yeah,
he's on ESPN.
Have you ever been on ESPN?
No, but his kid's famous.
I know.
In the basement there, riding around. There we get a first look at
Shark bait.
First impressions. Declan Bender. Kristen B in the booth.
She's got a gallon of iced tea, of sweet tea. You never know where in the South when you have a gallon of sweet tea. She's just enjoying it over here.
I got some for you.
She got some for who?
I got some for y'all, but because y'all decided to call me a backup flagger.
Oh my gosh, she's not
gonna. I
gonna.
gave the other one to a stranger, and I gave one to my dad.
Well, I'm glad about the dad.
Yeah, your dad needs some sweet tea. He will love some sweet tea. She gave one to a fan, so we don't get any.
I gave one to a questions.
A random
That's when you
person
guys
because
come
she
in
was
and
mad.
back up.
I'm learning quickly that you only get one take at what you say. This is live.
There she is. There she is. Come here. Look. There she is. There's the gallon of sweet tea. Oh, and there's the peanuts.
And we're going to try them out.
What does it say? It says Parker.
No, so let's go ahead and show it off. This is Parker Lane's Fresh Lemonade.
Oh.
Lane's, it's got a basset hound on the front.
That's
which
why you
obviously
got it.
enticed
Now we know.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
by the way, very good. I did the Arnold Palmer, though, so I didn't have
Oh,
to
half and half,
lemonade.
yeah.
And it is delicious. So if you guys are out there, and I love when they put the lemons at the bottom. It's very, very good. We love Senoia, Georgia, one of our favorite places to come. Bubba Pollard, you put on an excellent event. So
There you go.
And I hope you guys enjoy those peanuts. Don't choke on them after calling me a backbiter.
Man, she's not going to let us live that down.
One take, guys. That's all you get.
That's
One
it.
take.
Yeah, one
Thank you
chance
so
with
much,
her.
Kristen.
Look, I'm going to lock the door. See, I'm locking it now. We're going to have those in a little bit, I guess. So this is our group number 3, and so far nobody's even get up. Oh, yeah, Declan Bender just now jumped into the top 10 on the First Impressions Husqvarna. There goes Jordan Jean, the 56. But, man, it's just Trackside Live out here today, and we're just having some fun.
If the action's nearly as spicy as Kristen was right there, I think we're in for a good night of racing.
That is for
Back
sure.
up, Flagger, man.
All right, so while the bikes go back to the pit area, we are going to try the boiled peanuts. So Colby, go ahead and get them out, and we'll talk a little bit more about Senoia also. So it looks like Senoia, but it's Senoia, Georgia. He's getting the boiled peanuts out. There they are.
I'm going to be honest, the bag's
it's still warm.
moist.
It's still warm.
It's very
and
moist, and I'm not crazy about that to start.
They're wet, yeah.
All right, so everyone at home, I'm from New York, so this was not a thing there. South, when you're driving on the roads there.
I locked the door on purpose, Kristen.
Yeah, we were scared. So when you're driving down south, you'll see these stands that'll say boiled peanuts on the side of the road. No idea what that is.
Right. You've never tried them.
You've never stopped.
Honestly, it looks like a bean, like something you get at your local Mexican
Look,
restaurant.
you're tripping onto our paperwork over here.
This is more important, Scotty.
Well, all right.
There's a four peanuts in
here. Are you shaking because you're nervous to eat the boiled peanuts?
I got shaky
He's never
hands.
eaten food on TV.
He's never eaten food on TV. Don't you eat the whole
those are
shell?
good. Those
Don't
are
you
good,
eat the
aren't
shell
they?
too?
You don't.
Some people do.
It tastes like a bean, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
Look.
seriously, it's like a bean.
Yeah. Is this a new favorite? You can have some
10
more?
out of 10. Make sure you stop by. He's also singing our national
Yes,
anthem.
he is singing the national
Everyone
anthem a little
stop
bit
by
later
Big
on.
Daddy's. It's good. Yeah, no, it's good.
Yep. If you like boiled peanuts.
I'll probably have a few more, but I did just drip all over our paperwork. So
Yep.
Scotty's not going to be thrilled if I keep
Yeah,
dumping.
look, you get this all over my paperwork.
All right.
This is my
Hey,
office.
Kristen B, thank you so much. I'm going to bring these to the back of the truck, give
That's-
everyone else a shot at
Yeah,
them.
exactly. All right. Well, yeah, no, we're in the front of the truck. Now we have 2 backup flagmen up there on the front straightaway, by the way.
Don't
They're-
say that anymore.
Well, I'm about to talk about Kristen.
It doesn't matter. We're done.
Oh, well, we're done talking about backups?
Yeah.
This is the American V-Twin class, a new class for us out here. It's invitational only. All Harley Davidsons out there, Sportsters. Yeah, so the Sportster class was fun. I had a good time at it. It was really about corner speed, keeping up the momentum in the corners and try to stay off that rear brake as much as possible.
Wasn't a lot there off the bottom.
No, it seemed like a while to get those things going. I rode for Topeka Harley Davidson. Mike Patterson used to own Topeka Harley Davidson, and then it changed to Historic Harley Davidson. 99-13, that's Bubba Boswell and my buddy Chris Boone, number 13. I used to race against him quite a bit. He was number 89C back in the day, and then he became number 13, which he has a couple different reasons why it's 13. Uh-oh, red flag coming out, they're saying. A couple of bikes have hit the deck. They're throwing their hands up.
Chris Boone.
Oh, there they are.
Oh,
It's one of the days.
Got some gas out of that thing.
There are 2 days out there racing all-day race team.
Get the s'mores out. We are going to have a fire here in a second, ladies and gentlemen.
Tyler Abney on the 20 bike is one of the riders. Oh, is it the 50? Gabrielle Van Syok.
It might be gasoline, Brad. I'm not sure.
There is the 88 on the back. That is Jonathan Day. They race for all-day racing. There's usually 3 of them, but Justin wasn't able to make it here today, and it looks like that thing's been in some mud somewhere, maybe at the very bottom of the racetrack as the water goes down, and you can see his bike is filthy. He's going to need a car wash.
Lost his whole
his
right
old,
side.
His old brake assembly and foot peg.
Yeah, go.
Yep. I like the teardrop gas tank. That's good looking. You want to know a fun fact?
What's that?
I announced every one of your pro races. AFT races.
I had a stat on that. I think it's 70 or something. I was very interested to see if me or Brad was right with the gas or oil.
Well, we'll see. Usually when they tip over like that, it is gas, but hopefully it's not oil because it takes a little bit longer to clean up.
It might be oil.
Yeah, he's carrying the chain away. That's the 700. That's probably helping out.
That's a good point. The chain probably went through the case a little bit.
Oh, so you're probably right. It is.
Yeah, Brad, I owe you some boiled peanuts.
Yep. All right, let's check in with Kristen Beat. Kristen.
Braden Fanders down here in the paddock. Braden, how are you feeling this weekend after Senoia? Obviously a big weekend for you, a big season opener in Daytona.
Yeah, we had a good start to the season in Daytona, and excited to be here at Senoia, Georgia. And this was my first pro race last year, and yeah, we're coming here with some good notes from last year, and we're ready to fight at the front tonight.
What are the biggest adjustments you guys are making? I see your crew chief working away on the bike right now.
The track just got a lot slicker from the first practice to the second practice, so we're trying to make some adjustments to get more hooked up and kind of come to the grips with the track a little bit more.
Having made your debut here last year, what did you learn in that, and what are you telling yourself going into this racing weekend?
A lot I learned last year at my first pro race was just the intensity it takes to run up front at a pro race, and it's a lot more intensity the first 3 laps compared to an amateur race. So yeah, that's what we're applying here, and we applied that in Daytona too, and it obviously helped. So yeah, we're ready for tonight.
So question from Scotty and Colby in the booth. Have you ever had boiled peanuts?
No, I'm not a big peanut person.
That's a hard no. That's a hard no. I didn't know there was such a divided opinion about peanuts in the paddock, guys.
You know,
things I'm learning.
Kristen, I like peanuts. I don't like boiled peanuts. It's just a preference, I think. You know, and they're just different. I guess it depends on where you grow up. That was Braden Fanders actually running. His number is 88, as 83 this year. As an amateur, he's 88A. Then his first rookie year, he's 288 last year. And then he can't be 88 because that is Chase Sadoff. So he went to number. You're gonna have some more?
No, it's you.
Oh, no, I'm not having them. No, I'm not eating them.
Yes, the people. Just try one.
No, I've had them.
No, you. I don't want to open it.
Some people eat them in the whole shells and everything.
I've got a good friend, family friend, Tim Cottrell. Just got a shout out. He's from Georgia, and he loves these things.
All right, look, they are kind of soft.
Yeah, keep that thing away from me.
I'm trying. Hey, that's not a Tic Tac. That is a boiled peanut. So they're falling apart. They're really soft. These are better than the ones I had before. Yep.
While Scotty Dubler finishes up his peanut, we're going to throw it down to Kristen B and see if someone else likes boiled peanuts.
We're not going to ask that anymore. We're actually going to step forward. We're having one of those weird audio issues we experienced earlier. This is better. Ryan Wells, the wiry old veteran at 29 now. Just kidding, old man. Do you feel that way when you're out on track, when you're racing against all these 16 and 17-year-old kids, sometimes 18?
Sometimes. Depends how I feel out there, I think. If I'm going fast and I'm feeling a little dicey out there, then I definitely feel a lot younger. But when I'm coming off the track and wiping my forehead from sweat and gasping a little bit, then I start to feel a little bit older. But I feel pretty good today, so hopefully maybe I can take a few years off today.
Ryan, I find it so encouraging that riders like yourself are still so active and passionate about the sport. What keeps you coming back? Because things have changed so much for you in your career.
Yeah, definitely. Last year was kind of an eye-opener to me to how much I really love this sport and can't get enough of these two-wheeled things. Taking the year off last year was, I thought it was going to be kind of the fizzling out of my career, but here we are still spending money doing what I've loved since I was 3 years old. So it's definitely fun. I'm too competitive to quit. And yeah, the glimpses of greatness out there when you come off the track and your times are well definitely keeps you motivated. So yeah.
Ryan, thanks so much. It's always good to see you out there, guys. Ryan Wells may be a sleeper pick, but this is his kind of track. You know, he's great on the car tracks. He's great on the banking. We'll see how he does here tonight.
Takes some throttle control. Looks like he's taking a look at it. And I did see the side of his bike has the gold leaf and the stickers. The graphics kit is awesome on that side of that 94.
Can we get a shot of that, Jordan? To the side of it?
Oh, yeah, that's why Chris went over there. There's a puppy on the front fender. Yep. I wonder how many dogs she's going to take home today. There's an adopted pet going to be out here in a little bit.
My fiance said none. Even if there's a golden retriever, none.
I was talking. There you go. So if you're up close, that actually is gold leaf. It's hard to see from this camera view, but there's actually gold leaf in that TYG Racing sticker. It's really cool. Good looking. Yeah, they're just not. Yeah,
see how they got those motor mounts off right there?
What?
So right there, up above the exhaust bracket there in the middle of the bike behind the engine, they take those off to try to give the frame more flex.
Really?
Yeah.
Not to make it lighter?
No, just to give it more flex. Hopefully, in theory, to give it more traction.
Okay.
Don't need them because we're not doing big jumps like in motocross, so it lets everything just open up more and try to grab more better on the dirt.
Interesting. I didn't know they would try to flex that much. I knew that these chassis are definitely different than the KTM and Husqvarna's with the big aluminum down there, but I didn't know they would even flex that much. Colby dropping some knowledge. Looks like they're still trying to clean up the mess over there in turns 1 and 2 with the speedy dryer, the floor dry. Some people use kitty litter. We had that conversation last year. I don't know. Did you hear any of that stuff? When you spill oil at home, what'd you put on it?
I got a nasty oil leak in my Chevy Malibu right now.
Yeah.
And the driveway is just getting nothing.
Nothing, just getting oiled down.
I'm looking to sell the house soon, so maybe I should start doing some kitty litter.
You better step it up. So, yeah, they're cleaning it up right there. Looks like all hands on deck, Big P's out there. So, again, when you have oil on a blue groove type racetrack, that gets really slippery out there, Colby.
Oh, yeah, you're instantly down.
It's like ice.
It's ice. It's worse than ice. Sometimes it feels like.
Yeah, let's talk about Kristen's kryptonite. I know we saw a picture of a puppy on the front of Ryan Wells' fender, and what'd you find now?
We got some doggy dog love down here. I'm going to rip my ear out because we're having some of those audio issues. But, guys, this is Diesel, and this is actually Morgan Mischler's bike. This is Morgan Mischler's bike. For the weekend, it is a DG Custom, a Dalton Gauthier team backup bike that Morgan Mischler, as you can tell with the 13, is running here this weekend. Full factory, Morgan, but you have Diesel in full effect on the bike. Good luck this weekend?
I appreciate that. We work hard. Nobody sees it, but that's okay.
I see it. I see you turning that wrench right now.
Yeah. See?
We recognize the hustle. This seems to be a good track for you. In the past, it's a traditional car track. This is a track that you had looked forward to. I remember 2 years ago interviewing you about how excited you were to come to Senoia, Georgia. Is the excitement still there?
Yeah, I mean, we're on something that we haven't rode in a long time, and I've got a good guy to bounce my notes off of, so that really helps.
He's referring to Dalton Gauthier, by the way.
Yeah, I got my roommate and my roommate's dog on here, so it's a fun little trip to come up here since it's not far. We're in a good facility. Bubba does an awesome job with this track, so really it's a wonderful place to be on a cloudy day.
I love it. Best of luck here this weekend, Morgan. And if Jordan, you'll follow me over here, I want to show you guys on Dalton's bike. We don't really get to see this, by the way. If anyone's wondering, I love the new schedule. I love having all this time. I love being able to show fans what's going on in the paddock. But if you can see underneath here, Dalton Gauthier is even repping Diesel as well. Such a cool graphics package, right, guys?
Yeah, as long as you're having fun with it, right? I mean,
we thought earlier it was the Cougar for me.
Oh, that's what he has on the front of his leathers, right? Yeah, he has those on his leathers, but Dalton always having fun.
I remember at the amateur race as a kid, he always had a miniature one running around.
A miniature?
One of those dogs.
A miniature pincher?
Yeah, it was always
pin?
running around. Yeah, I can't remember its name, but it was always running around the track.
Yeah, that dog looks pretty mean to me. I don't know. I think I'd stay away from that one. There will be an adopt-a pet. Actually, 2 of them will be out here in just a little bit later for the open fan zone. When practice and qualifying is done, we'll step away from here for about 3 hours. Opening ceremonies are tonight at 7:30 p.m. And then we'll get into the racing action. Again, right now we are in round number 2 of practice. They're cleaning up a track over here, turns 1 and 2 from the brand new class, the American V-Twin class, and the track is just about ready. So far, Robert Lewis has been fastest in both rounds of practice, and he was my pick earlier today, Colby.
You did say Robert Lewis. I was going with Chris Boone. Talking about Chris Boone earlier, I used to live with the Mayer family, Levi Mayer, you know them well.
Mm-hmm.
We were racing somewhere south, and he said, hey, I got a buddy that lives in Nashville. We can go spend the night there.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was a kid, and I heard stories about Chris Boone, kind of legendary guy.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Some wild stories I've heard over the days, and so we go spend the night on this guy's couch. But, man, what a flat track thing. Just, hey, I know someone that knows someone. We're going to go stay the night at their house.
Yep.
Anything to save a buck, right?
Yeah.
But, man, here we go back at action.
Yeah, so Chris Boone's funny. He would stop, pick up hitchhikers. I mean, there's so many stories about that guy. You know why he's number 13? Because he's number 1 in 3 counties, and then it went number 1 in 3 countries, and then it went to number 1 in 3 continents. That was his logic behind the 13. All just joking, of course, but that's why he's 13. Usually that's an unlucky number. Don't tell Mishler that.
Yeah, why did you pick number 43? What was the logic behind that one, Scotty?
I did that because my grandpa was 43J, and J was the district letter for South Dakota and Minnesota there for a while, and so I just picked the 43. My dad, he didn't care what number he rode. He would ride for different people, and whatever number is on the bike is what he rode. So I went with my grandpa's number, and I was 43G. And then when Joe Kopp won the championship, by the same year I earned my points and got to be number 40, national number 43 for just a couple of seasons. Question from the bad side of the truck. What you got, Brad?
One.
Oh. The question is, what number would you have ran if you didn't take the number we had? You said what?
1.
Did you get to run with your number 1?
Yeah,
you did,
but
right?
I would have rather had the whole time. Looking back now, I'd probably, if I was to have to pick a new number, I'd probably go with the 35 to represent Charlotte Canes.
Okay. Yeah.
That one would definitely be special to me, so that would be the number I would choose.
Oh, Robert got a little sideways.
Charlotte Canes.
Okay. Yeah.
That one would definitely be special to me, so that would be the number I would choose.
Oh, Robert got a little sideways going in the corner, but I don't know. I guess I think I was 5 on my go-kart. I don't know why I was 5. Probably because we had 5s laying around. I like the font of the 5 we had. I was 15 the last year I raced BMX. That's how I was ranked in the state. I was the 15th ranked rider in the state. So I like the 15. I raced motocross with a 15 and a 151. I don't know. 43 just stuck. Let's take a look at the 68 right here on the right side of the screen. And there it goes. Just what's going on there, Colby?
I have no explanation.
It just kind of stepped out.
Yeah, man, weird. Maybe the wall kind of came up there, so we couldn't see exactly what the front end hit there. But yeah, that thing just stepped out. I wouldn't imagine Robert, wily old veteran, wouldn't get on the brakes too hard.
All right, so that does wrap up our second round of practice. Let's check in one more time with Kristen Beat down there in the pit area.
Speaking of legends, Jerry Stinchfield here, team owner for Roost Systems of Dallas, Texas. Brandon Robinson's team owner. This year, major transition, moving from the Indy into the Harley Davidson. What has that been like for this team?
A lot of money. a lot of money.
Is it worth it?
I think it's going to be. It's a work in progress. You know, we're still working some bugs out, but we went out first practice, and we were pretty quick, and then we're working on some things, but I'm proud to represent the Harley Davidson brand.
You've been a part of Flat Track and such a great contributor to the team, to riders personally throughout the years. What has inspired you to do so much for this sport?
When you have a kid that walks up to you and says, "Can you help me out so I can get to the next race?" It's kind of hard to turn them down. I live a pretty good life. I have a pretty good business. And so if you help others, I don't know, it comes back to you tenfold.
And it seems like you still really love it. Otherwise, I don't think you'd be here. What do you love about it?
My dad got me into this sport in the early 60s, and I've loved it ever since. And I raced it, but never to this level. And so now as a team owner, I am at this level, and I feel like, you know, we're a very, very strong team. And I think as the year goes on with these motorcycles, I think it's going to get a lot better for us.
And more than just the riders appreciate you being here. We love you being here too, Jerry. Thanks so much. And quick question, though. You were telling me earlier in the day, just a little funny for Scotty and Colby to chew on, that you wanted to get out on a bike and race some of the guys. You wanted to go to Springfield. And you were telling me earlier in the day you want to do that. Should we put it on TV?
I think we should. I think it'd be great for Tim, and he's my good friend, and Mike Turner, my good friend, and or any other team owner would like to race at the Springfield Mile. I will break out one of my Indians, and I'll even let them use some of my Indians. I think we should make it happen.
You hear that, boys? We are challenging you. If you're a team owner, time to suit up, because Jerry Stinchfield's ready to throw down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Let's go, Jerry.
I love it. Let's have some fun with the team owners. So we've been talking about the dog rescues going on over there in just a little bit. They will be here around 4:30. Also, there'll be a bouncy house happening, face paint going on, and they'll be getting over there in just a little bit. When practice and qualifying is done, you guys can come to the pit area. Also, the slide school is going on over there at 4:30, and we'll have some riders doing some Q&A sessions during our downtime. Again, opening ceremonies tonight at 7:30. We're just now done with our practice sessions. We come back qualifying round number 1 right here at the Yamaha Senoia Short Track. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Hey race fans! A degree above HVAC is revved up to spend the day with you, getting roosted by the best flat track racers in the U.S. Swing by our tent for some awesome free swag, snap some pics of your kids on our bikes, and chat about all things motorcycles. And remember, when it comes to comfort at home, we're not just good, we're the best. Let's keep the ride smooth together. SBI Magazine is a free online motorcycle magazine featuring motorcycle reviews, industry news, product reviews, race reports, editorials, moto lifestyle, and moto entertainment. Visit us online at sportsbikeincmag.com.
Gotta have a lucky charm when you ride, right? Makes you feel safe and protected out there.
That's why I never leave home without a photo of the little ones.
Bracelet from my husband.
Oh. Lucky rabbit's foot.
Lucky rabbit named Swoot. It's Swedish.
That's a whole rabbit.
Named Swoot.
Well, there's really no need for a lucky charm when you ride.
Not when America's #1 motorcycle insurance got your back.
We're just going to ignore the fact that Carl has a rabbit.
Named Swoot.
We're going full throttle with Mission Foods. There's no holding back American flat track. Track riders and tastiest products. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Jostens is proud to be the official trophy of American Flat Track. Jostens also produces great commemorative race products for race fans. Please visit us at jostens.com to see all of our commemorative racing products. Racing is all about performance, speed, precision, and pushing the limits. Aeroflex brings that same mindset to liquid packaging with a design that's lighter, tougher, and better for the planet. Simply tear the tab, squeeze, and experience a better way to package liquids.
And welcome back to the Yamaha Senoia Short Track. We're doing some trackside live, just having some fun while practice and qualifying is going on out here. Welcome to you, race fans. We'll have the fan zone opening up here in just a little bit. There'll be a slide school happening over there. If you want to go over there and check that out, that's Johnny Lewis on the new FT450 Royal Enfield. Also, just a friendly reminder, no smoking in the grandstands. If you want to do that, please go to the back side of the grandstands if you want to have a cigarette. And there's a lot happening in the fan zone. Also, there'll be some rider Q&A sessions on the front straightaway. They'll have 2 microphones down there. The first session will have 3 of our Super Twins riders, and then the second session will have a couple of the, actually, 3 in each of them, 2 Dallas, Breyer, and Davis Fisher. In that second session will be Chase Sadoff, Tom Drain, and Trevor Bruner. So if you have any questions for those riders, they'll be along in just a little bit down there in that front straightaway. We do have a big break built into today's format. We'll have practice and qualifying. When that is all done, we'll have the fan zone going on. There'll be some food trucks over there and a lot happening. And then at 7:30 is opening ceremonies. Right now, folks, it's time for qualifying. Round number 1, Mission AFT Super Twins. I'm Scotty Dubler, the voice of American Flat Track, and up here in the booth this season is the 2017 AFT Singles Champ, Colby Carlisle. Colby, now it's time for the riders to get a little bit more serious, not necessarily us.
No, it is time for them to get serious. We can still have fun in the booth. These guys, it's time for them to start getting their day ready to make a paycheck come tonight. You know, qualifying 1 here, you get 2 shots at it, but you never know if the track's going to be faster in this one or the next one.
And how do you think the riders, it seems like now Davis is trying the low line. I was just getting ready to say the Super Twins have been up at the top, and now with all those single riders putting the rubber down the bottom of the racetrack, now Davis is trying that low line. Yeah, Dan Bromley kind of showed us that line a little bit too soon in the Super Twins class.
Yeah, and right now a little bit too, Davis is kind of being forced down there just because Breyer's above him. Maybe that's where he wants to be, but you just got to try stuff. Davis has tried pretty much every lap down low, so obviously he has a good feeling about what it is. But Breyer there, keeps going higher and higher. And that time, he was about 15 feet from the air fence. So he's searching for moisture. And
you think the Harley likes it up there so he can use the momentum around the outside?
Like a lighter brown, that's where I would think there's moisture and there's more grip.
And they just put a little bit of moisture down. We're just kind of seeing what's happening as it unfolds. And there's 3 riders at the bottom of the racetrack, and look at that low line.
How about that? We've got 3 different brands right now in the top 3: Yamaha, KTM, and a Honda,
and a Harley in 4th.
All within 0.2 of a second right now. The track's good.
The track is really good.
Racing.
Krista B, what do you know about Dallas Daniels?
Just caught up with him a moment ago, and I asked him any big adjustments, what are you doing? He said, we're just trying to get a feel for this track. And he said, we're also trying to predictively adjust the bike. He said, at night, this track is going to be a totally different beast. So while they are in a meaningful qualifying session, they're also trying to set up the bike not for the track that they're racing on now, but the track they will be racing on later. And that's tricky. That's like throwing darts at a board you can't find.
Yeah, it's really tricky. If you want to get qualified well to get a good starting spot in your heat race, but at the same time, you got to try to plan on what the track's going to do after the sun goes down, the moisture comes up.
Yeah, the grip level will go down when the sun goes down, like you said, and the moisture comes up. It just gets a little bit more slippery, like a wet slick, because the track does get the moisture coming up. So during the day-to-day, you might have more drive, more forward grip right now, but like you said, they have to start prepping for tonight. You know, the goal is to get top 8, where you can start pretty much wherever you want. As long as you're on the front row, that's good enough to get you. So qualify top 8, but make sure you've got some kind of glimpse of what you want your bike to be when it becomes nighttime.
And the reason for the top 8, there are 2 heat races in both of our AFT classes, and 4 riders on each row would get you a top front row starting spot.
Exactly. That's what LJ and the guys would always, you know, really try to push to me, is like, hey, it doesn't matter if you qualify 3rd or 8th, just be top 8, because you need that front row starting spot. And if you can't be 8th, at least try to be 9th or 10th, because then you get, you know, inside 2nd row.
Just in case the riders in the front row go up the racetrack?
And yeah, I mean, guys from the 2nd row can still almost hole shot. They could easily, there's multiple times where I've come out of turn 2 in 2nd place from the 2nd row, just because if you're a good starter, you've got everyone that's going to go up the track a little bit in front of you.
Logan Rain on the 14, and right behind him, Justin Jones on a new ride. He's on the First Impressions. This is a KTM twin. Their singles program is all Husqvarna, but their twins program is the 91. Those are KTMs for Justin Jones from right down the road from you in New York. Not too far away, right? What, a couple hours?
Too far away. I think my parents actually help him out with helmets, too, from KC Cycle Helmet World.
All right.
Yeah, I think they might have sponsored him this year, so that's kind of neat. Longtime family friend. His dad and him really helped me get the start in racing, but let's touch back on that. Earlier I said 3 brands in the top 3. Now we have 4 different brands in the top 4.
With the Honda up there in that 4th spot, Trent Lowe.
We didn't see that last year.
No, Trent looks pretty good for moving up to the Premier class for the first year. He looked really comfortable at Daytona. He's carrying that on into today.
And he was testing a little bit, you know, throughout the break there. He was able to go out and do some races, and I had some people messaging me saying that they think today could be the day that Trent Lowe goes on the podium. I mean, that's a huge task. To get into the top 5 would be an amazing accomplishment, but they were feeling pretty good about podium calls for him.
Well, I talked to Kenny Coolbeth earlier today, and I said, what do you think in top 5? And he said, better be. So they're expecting that already of this rookie rider in the Premier class.
Yeah. You know, now we've had 2 sessions where James Ott's been 2nd and 1st, and now he's in 10th place. So I would have to, you know, venture to guess that the track's just changing a little bit, and maybe they missed the setup. You know, maybe they're searching a little bit, but you got to try to bring that confidence from earlier on in the day and figure out where it is to get back into that top 8.
Do you think they made changes, or maybe didn't make changes according to what the track's doing?
It could be both. You know, you can search in the wrong way, and it's easy to start going down a rabbit's hole. I'm sure they're back there scratching their heads a little bit right now.
There's a look at the results from qualifying round 1. Dallas Daniels won 7.809. Van de Kooi, Robinson, so it's Yamaha, KTM, Harley Davidson, and Honda. And how about Cody Johncox from up there in your neck of the woods sitting in that 5th spot?
Absolutely, grew up with him as well. Him just down the road. And great to see. He had a big get off last year, I remember, to start the year in Daytona. Ended up with a collarbone injury. Amazing to see him back here today running in 5th in qualifying. I'm sure he's going to look at that and wipe the eyes a little bit and take a double a double look at it.
We'll shift gears now and bring out the AFT singles presented by Kicker Performance Audio. They're on the racetrack right now for their first round of qualifying. The winner from Daytona, Cody Kopp, is actually road racing right now in Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas. So that opens up the door for everybody else.
It does. And all of these guys, you know, they're looking to take that next jump. Who is going to replace Cody as the champion going into 2026?
Yeah, because Cody won the first 2 rounds and is not here, is not running with us maybe anymore this season. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, who's gonna fill that void?
A lot of contenders that are able to do it. And one guy today, like we talked about earlier, just so good at this type of car track. You know, we call them a car track, these big bank tracks where traditionally every Friday, Saturday night, they're racing stock cars of some sort. But man, there's a good shot right there of the 2nd-year rider, Brandon Fanders, number 83, up in 2nd place in qualifying right now. how about that? You know, he had a big injury last year, coming back here, able to clear mentally, get his body back in shape, and just strong performances.
Well, this was his first race of his professional career here last year, because he didn't turn 16 until after Daytona before he raced here last year. Made the main event in his first outing. The next weekend, or the next race, we went to Texas, and that's where he got hurt, broke his back, and some other injuries, and then he went to every single race last year just to be there, just to see what's going on, just to see how the pit area is compared to an amateur pit area, and he's taking it all in. And 2 fifth-place finishes at Daytona, and sitting, you know, third quick right now here today. Another rider that you expected to do well, and we talked about this too, and I talked about on my podcast, the 26 of Aiden Roos-Evans. He finished 4th here last year, a career best, and he's up here 2nd in this round so far. Using some of your old suspension parts too, I heard, huh?
He's trying to decide if we should talk about it. Yeah, no, I'm liquidating the garage right now, and I sold Roos Evans a really nice set of A-kit suspension, and he texted me during the break there and said, man, this stuff is kick butt, but he used a different word.
One guy that was fun to watch at Daytona, but is watching with us in the stands, it's Sammy Halbert's down there with Kristen.
He was fun to interview in Daytona, Sammy. This weekend, we're at a short track in which Jared Mees described last year, a fist fight in a phone booth. You are known as Slammin' Sammy. I mean, how do guys get scrappy out there? What is the level of aggression they need to bring into a track like this?
I think one of the cool things about this track is it's quite wide, and so in the past we've seen some multi-line racing, and it's a fast enough short track where I'm not out there racing because these guys are going pretty fast, and still the danger factor is pretty high, but it's small enough where they're able to get quite aggressive and really running in on each other on a pretty wide racetrack. So I think that's what makes it good racing out here.
We will also see you later this year, all 3 Sturgis races. So you'll be at Jack Pine Gypsies. You'll also be at the Sturgis TT. How are you preparing for those?
Yeah, I'm excited for those. I mean, that's not till August, so I'm right now we're preparing the bike. We got the Martin Trucking, Yamaha. We're in the works. We're like doing some development to it to try and get it a little closer to like what the Estenton team has. We're not going to have the same gear as them, but we're trying to get some of the same like motor components that they have, or some similar stuff to get us a little bit closer to being competitive in that class. It's quite hard right now the way the class is to get a competitive bike, and that's yeah, so that's what we're shooting for. We're just working on the bike, getting it ready for that.
Sammy, we can't wait to see you later on this year. Thanks so much.
Slammin' Sammy Halbert, one of the favorites in the crowd no matter where we go. We take a look at, there's the 105. Ethan Kitchen up to 2nd. He was very fast in that last round too, Colby.
Yeah, just watching that, man, it looks like there is so much grip coming off the bottom. I mean, he's riding right there on the white lines as low as you can possibly go, and there is so much grip. And little guy, not much weight for that bike to move around. But one thing you got to think about is you got to start getting ready for the rest of the night. And I don't think, when it comes nighttime, there's no way those guys are going to be riding that low. Maybe I'll bite my words later on tonight, but these guys are going to be moving up the track. From my history here, we might start riding lower like this, but come main event time, heat race time, when the moisture starts coming up, you're going to want to use the banking.
So you'd have to gear differently for that, right? I mean, it's a lot higher.
Yeah, it'd probably be a tooth lower.
Question from our producer on the other end of the truck. Brad Jones, what do you got? So from the other end of the truck, they're saying with all these young names, young guns out there that are hungry, that are shining right now, how do they transfer that into the race mode, and how do you change it, from going fast in practice and preparing for the night show when everything amps up a little bit, the lights come on, the crowd is here? How do you change that in your mindset to stay up front like that, Colby?
Yeah, there's so many ways to look at that. Like one way, if you go out there and you qualify really well and you get a bad start and you just start going backwards, you could get frustrated real quick. Another way to look at it, you don't know what you don't know. So you think, oh man, I just qualified 2nd. You expect to be up there for the rest of the night. It's going to be a learning experience. A guy like Ethan Kitchen, having that Daytona short track experience a couple weeks ago, making the main event there, and then being on top here today in second place in qualifying. It's going to be a good experiment to see how he handles it. I think it depends a lot about how the rider grew up, the experiences, where they raced, how they did. Were they the top amateur all the time? Were they getting beat as an amateur? So it will be very cool to watch that tonight.
So the track is slowing down every time they go out. It's going a little bit slower. There is more rubber going down. Maybe the track will get faster as the night falls. We'll have to wait and see. But, you know, so far in the singles in practice 1, Sadaf was fastest. In practice 2, it was Ethan Kitchen fastest. In practice number in qualifying 1 right now, it's Tom Drain. So 3 different riders have been fast in this class. Every time they go out, somebody different at the top. And if you're wondering about the Ethan Kitchen name, that is Brandon Kitchen's little brother, who had stepped away from flat track.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch how that's going to play out tonight. I think Brad brought up a great point there of just how, like, Tom Drain, you know, more veteran rider, and then especially going back to 5th place right now, Dalton Gauthier, he could probably qualify 17th and do just as good, have the same mindset as if he qualified first. You know, it's something that you learn along the way. You know, there's guys that are better racers, like Cody Kopp. You know, he might not always qualify fastest, but he knew when it was time to race, he was ready to put the shield down and go to work.
Definitely. There's a Skylar Sintel right there from Cairo, Michigan. He's a 3rd-generation flat tracker like myself. And he just slips a little wide, opens up the door for the 101 of Caleb Martin, slides on through. Trackside Live is what we're doing here today. Just having some fun watching the bikes go around in circles.
You see how much more he's sliding coming off of turn 2 there, Caleb Martin is, than what we just saw out of Ethan Kitchen. You know, Ethan Kitchen, he'd get on the gas on that Yamaha and that thing just started to go forward. You'll see Caleb Martin here. He'll get on the gas pretty hard and that thing just kind of steps out and goes sideways.
Is it because he's lightweight?
It could be set up. You know, it definitely could be a lot to do with throttle control too at this point.
Tire pressure?
Yeah, a lot of variables. But that, I mean, that's the difference between 2nd place and 19th place. Although that's only 0.3 of a second, Scotty.
Right.
That's nothing. You can easily find that.
So watch the 101, try to see if this is when he got it really sideways. Gets it sideways going in. It kind of upsets the suspension. Look at the front end went all the way down right there. And he's just off of where the tires, you know, have been taking the groove right here. And we're talking about the 101 and just having trouble getting the power planted to the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't back out of it. Jacob Vanderkoy tries to get up the inside there, but
there's your results. Tom Drain fastest, 17.892. Kitchen 2nd. Bruce Evans 3rd. Braden Fanders 4th, and Dalton Gauthier 5th. And let's check in with Kristen Beat down there in the pit area once again.
Yeah, I just asked Maxwell, how do you feel out there off care when he goes, well, my times suck. So not satisfied with what you're putting out there. Right? Max, do you see the space to grow? Do you see which direction you need to go in?
Yeah, for sure. We're making some changes right now. You know, hope they turn out to be good, and you know, we can't get any worse pretty much, so we can only go forward. So just keep trying things and keep figuring it out, and you know, I can always improve too, so just keep thinking about those things and what I can do better, and hopefully we can figure something out.
Max, what track are you most looking forward to going to this season?
I'm looking forward to, honestly, all of them. The new team, Royal Enfield, and you know, the boss man, Johnny Lewis. It's been fun and a lot of learning, and yeah, the team just wants to do really well, and it's very motivational for me, and everyone puts in a big effort, and yeah, I mean, it's nice, and hopefully I can start rewarding them a little bit more.
So what's going on behind us? I saw the guys had the front end torn down, and they were kind of doing some adjustments. What are the major adjustments that you're experiencing today?
Yeah, so we're just changing the front end a little bit, pushing it out, making the bike a bit more stable. You know, you got to think of it like as like a car or something. The longer it is, the more stable it is. So hopefully that transfers to us pretty good, and give it a try and see how it goes.
Best of luck out there, Maxwell. And by the way, guys, he's wearing his Spurs hat. I asked him if he's a Spurs fan. He said no, he just liked the logo. I think it was Josh and me. But earlier in the day, you guys were actually talking about March Madness and basketball, and no one bothered to ask me who my team is, but MSU just whooped up on them last night.
I feel like we're going to need to take you out to get ice cream after this, Kristen. We've been kind of beating up on you a little bit.
Yeah. Colby's buying, too, by the way, I think.
There's so many things to break down there. One, the Spurs hat, Victor Wembanyama, their star player, one of the few guys I know taller than our producer, Brad.
And taller than Maxwell.
Yeah.
Maxwell's 6'5". He's like the tallest guy in the pits. Yeah, so why were they pushing the front end out? What was he trying to do there? What are they trying to to accomplish.
Yeah, I got taken away. I love NBA, by the way, but back to racing motorcycles. So pushing the front end out, you can, like he said, thinking of it like a car, the longer the car is, the more stable it is. Pushing it out will do two things. It'll make the bike more stable. It'll give you more traction coming off the corner. On the flip side of that, you're making the bike longer, so it's not going to turn as well. Like on a TT tracks, like say Sturgis TT, you'll probably end up pulling the front in a couple millimeters to make the bike so it turns more sharper, quicker movements. When you push it out, everything's slower, more lethargic, but it gives you better grip. On this track, you have to make sure though that you're not pushing it out too much where you can't turn down the straightaways to keep away from the wall.
Wow, a lot to take in. Bubba Boswell from Boswell's Harley-Davidson is at the top of round number 1, qualifying for the American V-Twins class, 1:8.966. He went a little bit faster than he did in the practice session. Chris Boone up there second, 1:9.096. Joe Houston, the 222, 1:9.16. And Robert Lewis fourth. And Adam Holmes up there in that 5th spot. I know we mentioned it earlier, but the audio wasn't working, but happy to announce that the brand new baby for Alex Childs, who's up there in 7th, him and his wife have a brand new baby 2 days ago, Letty Jane. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, qualifying round number 2 from Senoia. And welcome back to the Yamaha Senoia Short Track. This is Trackside Live. We've been watching practice and qualifying. One more round of qualifying to go. I'm Scotty Dubler. Up here in the booth is Colby Carlisle. Colby, we were talking about what's Senoia known for, and we actually looked up a few details. Fried green tomatoes, the remix of Footloose, and Driving Miss Daisy all were partly filmed right here in Senoia.
Yeah, and then I brought up TV shows that have been here. One of my favorite TV shows, I've rewatched it like 4 times, Ozark, actually was filmed. An episode of it was filmed over at Woodstock at Dixie Speedway, where we've raced a few times.
Wow, that's crazy. Also, the track owner, Bubba Pollard, a very well-known race car driver. I mean, he can drive a race car.
Well, we've seen his race car.
Yeah.
Should we take it for a spin? I think
who
would drive, me or you?
We take turns. I think it's just I think it's a one-seater.
Scotty, whover drives it first is going to total it. We're not going to get to the second one of us.
We'll have to flip a coin or something like that. And then also Rutledge Wood, known for the host of Top Gear US. And there's the Senoia house car, a Senoia house car right there that had Bubba's name on it as we walked by. It's in the infield, but I sure wish they could fire that thing up. I love it when those things start.
Man, I've been iRacing a lot, so I think I'd probably be our better bet.
I don't know. I grew up around a lot of sprint cars.
We'd for sure. Okay. Well,
all right.
Maybe sometime in the year we can get a challenge, me and you in a car, some sort.
Some sort, yeah. Rental cars.
We might have to do a go-kart challenge.
No, rental cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ventura.
Rental car. Crash them up, bang them up. So... cool little short track. What do you say? It's about a third mile? Is that what when you did your research?
The racing line that these guys are going to take today is going to be 1,566 feet. I was at breakfast at Aunt Mimi's down the street.
Yeah, and that's what they told you?
Delicious. No, I Google mapped it.
Oh, okay.
Can't try. I needed my own data.
Uh-oh. Kristen Beat found a new pal to go to Charlotte. There it is. She's making friends.
Hi, Fiona. So, guys, this sunny day rescue here in Senoia, Georgia, and you guys can obviously adopt her in the future. She is not available for adoption quite yet. She is getting some acclimation time. She's just a little shy, but you know, aren't we all just a little shy at heart? So she's getting to know everybody and spending some time out and about. And guys, as a foster parent myself, I know a lot of these dogs come from different backgrounds, different situations, but all of them deserve love and a good home. And if it's in your heart to adopt, or it's in your heart to kind of help this dog acclimate to the world around them, certainly pursue Sunny Day Rescue. And I'm going to go ahead and put you on the spot here, girlfriend. There are other dogs available in your rescue as well. Where can people find them?
So we have Coconut and Sprout that are available. They are both Pyrenees mixes.
Ooh, we love a Pyrenees. We love a Pyrenees.
They're very friendly, really well adjusted. They already are good with dogs, cats, and everything. So they're pretty much ready to go. They just got spayed on Wednesday. But if you just head to our website, www.sunnydayrescue.com, you can go ahead and apply for them. And if you are interested in Fiona, even though she's not available yet, you can put in an application if you're kind of wanting to meet her when she is ready. She is very, very sweet, even though she's a nervous gal, and she does love other dogs.
Oh, and by the way, we've got another. Are we available for adoption?
Yeah.
Hi, puppy. Oh, the Humane Society of Senoia, Georgia. Look, we've got some friends over here. Do you mind? What's her name?
Laser.
Laser. Oh, that's a good job because, man, he's got some laser eyes out here. He is so cute.
Just a puppy. We're trying to learn our manners.
Oh, hi, Laser. Come here, buddy. Oh, I know. Hi. Oh, see, I love you. I love you. I give you love. He looks like so much fun. So if you guys want to do the puppy thing, God willing, adopt Laser. So Laser's available through Humane Society of Senoia, Georgia, right?
Noonan.
For Noonan. Okay.
Noonan,
so
but
if you
cover
visit
the whole county.
They cover the whole county. And look at this boy, guys. Do you mind if I pick him up? Just so I can show him to everyone at home. Got to pick him up. Here, look. Guys, this is... Oh, hi. This is Laser.
He's trying to take your job.
He's trying to take that.
Leave it. Leave it.
You know,
leave it.
TV gold right now.
Leave it.
Laser.
Leave it.
All right, Kristen, we are totally even at this point. The backstage, the flagger jokes are gone. You're getting to play with puppies.
So
Laser's adorable.
And this is my dad who's probably going to take him home.
All right.
So I will let you guys go, but Laser is looking for a forever home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and find him one.
And
oh, that's so cute.
Awesome.
We'll see how many dogs Kristen takes home this week.
Yeah, that was really cool. And yeah, we're totally even because Kristen, there's nothing better for her than playing with puppies.
She loves it.
Yeah, I think she brought 3 to Daytona with her.
Oh, yeah. All her rescues. Yeah, she does. Her and her husband, Cole.
What a cute puppy, though, Laser.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
So we were just told that Big P gave this young man right here, this little guy, a whole stack of flags.
I would have gone nuts.
You want to go out there and see what you can do?
Maybe we can get him out. Man, that is so cool for Big P to be able to do that. And I'm serious. Like, when I talked about it earlier, I don't know if the audio issues were good or not, but
hopefully Big P didn't quit, and this is our new guy.
No, but
he's got them all.
What's so much fun because it brings another level of interaction to you coming to the racetrack. Not only are you watching the action, but at this point, you're role playing that you're in the action. Yep. So wow, such a cool moment, so cool. And yeah, hopefully Big P is still down there. If not, we look like we're in very good hands.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got multiple options too. Honestly,
I think you're gonna have to get your other set from your mom or wherever they're at and bring them to one of our races.
Ventura. Yep. Kristen's gonna try him out.
He's down there warming up. Don't forget if you would like to smoke, please do not smoke in the grandstands. Also, the fan zone will be happening here real soon from about 4:30 to about 7:30. So there's still more track prep going on. We'll take one more break, and we come back. Our final round of commercials will be our final round of qualifying will be coming up here in just a second. We're at the Yamaha Senoia Short Track. We'll be right back.
Yamaha is thrilled to announce our sponsorship of this year's American Flat Track Race, marking our 3rd consecutive year of supporting this exciting, family-friendly event. We are passionate about providing fun and engaging activities for our team members, allowing them to witness Yamaha products in action and share in the excitement. We look forward to continuing our involvement in the community and showcasing the innovation and excellence that Yamaha stands for.
Tom Duma Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our track, providing championship rings for each class in 2023. Tom Duma Fine Jewelers wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches, in all price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TDFJ.com.
Freedom on the road starts with the right coverage. That's why so many riders depend on Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Visit Progressive.com to customize your policy and get great coverage, low rates, and a quote in just 3 minutes.
Hey guys, hope you'll join me this September for our first annual American Bike Fest. set to be the premier motorcycle and music event of the Northeast. We'll have a VIP and first responders ride, live concerts, camping, vendors, a kids zone, beer garden, food, and more. I'll be there all weekend, and we'll be bringing some of our favorite bikes and friends from American Chopper. For tickets and more information, go to AmericanBikeFest.com.
Welcome back to the American Flat Track Series on FloRacing. I'm Kristen Beaton. I'm standing beside the man who owns this beautiful facility in Senoia, Georgia, the Senoia Raceway, and Bubba Pollard. Bubba, the racing conditions are looking great out there today.
Yeah, I think so. It's looking to shape up like an exciting race. So the guys were moving around there in practice. We were watching it, kind of learning, seeing what the racetrack is going to do for later on. So we're going to make a couple adjustments here, and I think it'll be exciting.
So, Bubba, you know a thing or two about throwing punches during a race, and Jared Mees very famously coined this track a fist fight in a phone booth because he loves these short tracks. He loves battling it out with the guys. And what advice would you have, despite it being in four wheels, for the guys out here tonight?
Man, it's going to get wide. This place is going to get exciting. You're going to be able to move around. But yeah, Jared and Dallas put on a great show 2 years ago here. So that's what got me interested in this AFT. So we're excited about it, and hopefully they put on a good show tonight.
Bubba, you guys also host other races throughout the year. I believe the Peachtree Classic coming up pretty soon. What can you tell fans about that?
Yeah, we started the first annual Peach State Classic just a few years ago, and it's really grown. We have it on Flo Sports here in November, the second weekend in November. So yeah, My sister, my family here, my parents, they work hard, so we're excited. We have a lot of other exciting super late model races throughout the year and things like that. So all our weekly guys, they show a lot of support for us, and it's been good. The county's been great. It's good to see all these fans come out and have some new faces that come out. Hopefully they can come out during the year here and check the car racing out. So we're excited, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
Bubba, thanks so much. We're excited for the racing tonight, and thank you for providing us such a great facility for racing.
That's Bubba Pollard right there. He's won more than 100 late model races throughout his career. It's cool that you have a racer that owns a racetrack and knows what to do with it. And we'll take a look back at Davis Fisher right here on the 67 Rackley Racing KTM. Feet on the pegs early, gets it really crossed up, and then it bucks him up out of the saddle. Look how fast he slid all the way to the back, and then his left foot actually slid off the foot peg. There was a lot going on right there in that quick shot.
Yeah, as soon as he busted it loose, he ended up hitting that little hole, and man, that started going, but no flinching out of him, just get it and go. And man, that KTM looked like it was moving down that back straightaway. This track is looking good, and Briar Bauman right now almost 0.3 of a second faster than second place Davis Fisher. That's the fastest time we've seen all day out of a twin. Briar's going lower than I've seen anybody go all day either.
Lower than the single riders even, you know, the single cylinder motorcycles, he's going lower than them. So maybe the bottom might be the fast way right now. Will it stay that way? We'll have to wait and find out, because we'll have a 3-hour break. They're going to do a lot of work to this racetrack. It's taking a lot of rubber so far, but again, we'll have a break after this round of qualifying until opening ceremonies at 7:30 tonight. So this is our final round of qualifying. They'll see, you know, they combine the times from qualifying round 1 and qualifying round 2, and you take the fastest lap will get you qualified into tonight's program.
Yeah, we're going to see what Dan Bromley and the rest of the gang in qualifying 2, Group 2 for Super Twins can do. But right now, Briar Bauman with that 17.692 on the Harley-Davidson XG 750. He said he was able to get out and do some testing on a clay track between Daytona and now, paying off the new line going down lower than anyone else. What do you think it is?
I think just getting familiar with the motorcycle, and you know, this racetrack I think fits his style a little more than the Daytona flat track. I know the Daytona was rougher than normal, but he led some laps there as well. So Briar looks really strong so far on his first season on XG Harley-Davidson.
Yeah, and when you think about Briar, you would think he'd be a very good short track rider. You know, he's won Las Vegas Super Prestigio quite a few years ago. Traditionally, though, at Daytona, he's only won there one time ever, and that was on a Honda 450. I can't remember if it was maybe 15 or 16, but a long time ago. This track, a completely different style of short track, being bigger, you know, banked corners, more rides like a half mile.
It's a very fast track, but Briar was around the very bottom. That's where Dan Bromley is going right now. So, again, Trackside Live right here today. We're just kind of watching the action unfold in front of our eyes, just like all the spectators over there are starting to file into the racetrack. Again, opening ceremony is not until 7:30, so, you know, 3.5 hours away, and the fan zone will be packed here in just a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to see how Cameron Smith there on the 34 bike fares, moving back to his own Yamaha motorcycles there in the Fredericktown Yamaha group. Something he feels more comfortable. That right there, the 14, that is the bike he just hopped off of. That is a KTM. He's back on the Yamaha this week, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare. You know, Logan McGrain moving from the Kawasaki over to the KTM that Cameron Smith was on. And then right there, the number 25, Ben Lau, on the Yamaha coming back. Last year, he spent all that time doing the development work for Davis Fisher, who's running in second place on that bike that Ben Lau spent all last year riding.
Yeah, Ben's a very talented rider. I talked to him not too long ago, said he wasn't going to spend a lot of time, you know, with us on American Flat Track, just pick and choose the races he wants to go to. He's from Holly, Michigan. He's sponsored by Mission Foods, Roof Systems, and Rackley Racing. He said the Rackley team has helped him out a lot, and so does Mission Foods, and of course Roof Systems down there in Dallas, Texas. As the white flag is out, the assistant flagman is out there. Ray Rizzo is helping out Big P right now.
And Ben Lau too, you know, he just came back from that knee injury that he had surgery last year to get that repaired. The last thing you want to do, see him go down like he did early on in the day in free practice, especially being stuck under that bike with that left leg.
Yeah, it looks like he is okay though. Probably a little bit of sessions up there, 7th quick on that Suzuki. So this time we got a Harley, KTM, Yamaha in your top 3 spots of round number 2 of qualifying here in the premier class. It's Mission AFT Super Twins And Briar Bauman, fastest in this round. He should be our pole setter for the day.
Unofficially fastest on the Harley-Davidson XG. Is that the first time ever, I wonder, for the Harley-Davidson XG?
Possibly so. I know there was the factory team was around for a little while. Brandon Robinson rode those for a while, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Bronson Bauman actually has a second place finish, the highest finish for an XG so far. So we could change that right here tonight. Briar wants to be the first one ever to win on an XG 750 Harley Davidson. So it's Bauman, Fisher, the top two as we go to our AFT singles presented by Kicker classes. They're onto the racetrack. The 450s, for you new fans, they're singles because they're single-cylinder motorcycles. These bikes all started out as motocross bikes, and now they've been converted into flat-track racing machines.
It went away before I could really look at it there, but second place through like 11th or 12th, all were within like 1 to 2/10 of a second, Scotty.
That's amazing. But again, a tighter 1/3 mile track. But again, you know, they're pretty spread out when they're on the racetrack, but the times were almost identical.
That is phenomenal for the kind of racing we're going to get tonight to have. I mean, typically that group is spread out by 3 or 4/10 of a second between second and 10th, 11th place.
Absolutely. Got a text message a little while ago from Gary Kinsler up in Sturgis, South Dakota, with Light Shoe, the official steel shoe of Progressive American Flat Track. They have the steel shoe on their left boot. They use them when they slide into the corners. Did the steel shoes heat up to you? Like when you come off the track, sometimes was your left foot really, really hot?
On a track, yeah, like even Darren, when I was racing, there'd be tracks where some tracks, you know, you really put your foot down hard, maybe for some stabilization. I would sometimes use it seriously like a brake going into corners, especially on like a Sacramento mile where you really got to kind of come in straight and get on the brakes hard. You put your foot down super hard, and I mean, you're going 100 miles an hour when you put your foot down, and it's just scraping on the ground. So yeah, you would feel a little bit of heat.
Did you put your foot out more to the left side, or it looks like Drain's kind of keeping his left foot pointed straight forward a little bit?
Yeah, well, whatever I did, don't do it, because that's how I broke my leg last time. I did it to the side a little bit.
It's just how you learn, right?
Yeah, I don't really know why you would pick differently. You know, there's Brandon Newman puts his facing backwards, basically.
Like turns it completely sideways.
Completely sideways. And then just traditional, a little bit off to the side. You really don't want to put it down much.
And it's just not a piece of steel either that they're using. They have special hard surfacing on the bottom, and a lot of them have secrets what they use. And, you know, every steel shoe maker is a little bit different, but Gary Kinsler does an excellent job with the Light Shoe up there in Sturgis, South Dakota. He actually made the trip down to Daytona, but they're up there working on shoes right now in Sturgis, South Dakota.
Yeah, I used those shoes a lot throughout my career with Light Shoe and Gary. They're a great team, and Dalton Gauthier with a 17.822. That could be it, you know, unofficially for the first.
Might be fast time.
Yeah, unless someone in groups 2 or 3 can come out and take that away from him. It looks like Dalton Gauthier does best the time that Tom Drain had in qualifying 1.
Just by a little bit. Drain was a 17.892. Dalton just went a 17.822. So it's very, very close. Here comes the set of twins, identical twins rolling onto the racetrack. First time ever in Progressive American Flat Track we have had identical twins with their pro license. Tyler Cunningham on the 225 and Dylan Cunningham on the 252. So I guess they got a good break on the number 2 and the number 5s at their local parts store.
Yeah, we have yet to have to call it between the two of them, between the two of us, to see how hard we struggle with that. But our day's coming, and Ethan Kitchen, he has been the hot topic up in this booth today for us. Brandon Kitchen's brother, second and first so far. Man, he's been doing really, really good. Kind of just, you know, I didn't see it coming.
I didn't either, and you know, he struggled a little bit the first day Daytona, which everybody does sometimes in your first race, but then he picked it up on night number 2 as we go back to Ryan Wells in the 94. But you know, he might be the Cinderella story for the season, you know, the 105 Kitchen.
Absolutely, he could be, and maybe he's just coming to grips really good with this track here. It's going to be great to see how these different riders progress throughout the nighttime when the moisture starts coming up. I still predict that we're going to be up the track. I really doubt we're going to be this low come race time because the moisture is going to come up. You can use the banking to get better runs. And honestly, with this in qualifying, you're not racing anybody. You're not trying to. You're racing the track and yourself. So you have the freedom to go on the bottom. With how low these guys are riding, you can't pass anyone underneath that. You're just in marbles.
Right.
So when it comes later tonight, you're forced to go up the track to make your way around, just like in 2024 last year here. Brandon Robinson and Briar Bauman, they were behind Johnny Lewis. They had to find their way around Johnny, and they ended up having to go up the track.
A lot of body English being used out here today. When they get on the gas, you slide to the back of the seat, push your arms far forward, but then when you go into the corners, you slide up on the seat. You pull it up and your elbow goes up. So a lot of body English are all over the motorcycle. A little bit different than car racing. Let's check in with another rider who had his career best finish here last year, 4th place. It's Aiden Roosevans with Kristen.
And Scotty, he's on the leaderboard currently at 4th on the Senoia racetrack. What is it about Senoia for you?
I love Senoia. I love car tracks. I love speedy, fast car tracks. I grew up doing sprint cars, and I think it plays in my role. Know everything about sprint car tracks, and just love it. I can't say anything better about it.
Your team works so hard every weekend to get you to the track, to get you on the bike. So when you're at a track like this, when you're in this kind of position to make something happen, do you put more pressure on yourself because of that?
Yeah, I do, because I see them every day in the shop. I go to shop every day to help them, but they're mostly the big pulling factor. But after this, I think they deserve a beer. I'd be honest.
Well, hopefully they'll be able to celebrate that tonight. Thanks so much, Aiden.
Absolutely, and right there, man, I'm not going to say it, but look at that suspension. That is all right out of the KC36 garage. So it's cool to see some of my old stuff go to ride like Aiden.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does on it tonight, but I'm glad that like parts like that are going to be able to help him in his career and maybe move him up to the next step. That suspension, just it's basically A-kit suspension, just flows better grip, goes over the bumps better is what I always found. So it's cool for Aiden to be able to have that, and so far today it is looking like it's working for him.
This is the final group of qualifying for the AFT Singles presented by Kicker Class. There's a 3rd-generation racer right there, 249, Skylar Sintel in his rookie season. He did debut down there at Daytona. Another rookie right behind him is Caleb Martin on the 101. And there's the 70, Declan Bender, who was in the Twins class last year. Showed up today to ride his own motorcycle, and now he is riding the First Impressions Husqvarna.
Kind of looks like Darth Vader with that helmet. How black it is, man.
Is there like gray duct tape around the shield?
I don't know, but I like it. We'll see.
We'll have to go check that out during the open paddock area here in just a little bit.
Feeling some Star Wars coming out of him with that helmet on. It's cool to see him back out here. Let's see. It's going to take a little bit for him to adapt, spending the whole last year on the twin. Moving back to the single, traditionally, I think it's easier to do that way. Trevor Bruner, transitioned from the twin back to the single this year too, currently sitting in 5th place. It's different, it is different truly, but the power's a lot lower. The bikes you can throw around a lot more. Did you ever really, you never got to ride these modern day 450s,
no,
I would assume?
My little bikes were always Rotaxes, so that's what we called little bikes. But, back in the day when I rode the Yamaha TDM 850 and then I would jump on my Rotax, it felt like a mini bike. Like you could just really flip it, lay it into the corner. It felt like there was nothing underneath you compared to the big, the Harley 883 or the Yamaha TDM Twin.
Yeah.
Bender's up to 5th,
yeah.
Colby.
And that's one thing, Declan came here and the opportunity presented itself for him to hop on the First Impressions bike. You have to make the most out of it. He has to go out here and at least try to get top 5 podium or win this race. That'll open up the door for, hey, First Impressions, maybe, I did good here. Can we fly out to Ventura? Try this again. Keep this going. Let's see how it goes. Opportunities, when they present themselves, you have to make the most of them.
There goes to the high side. No surprise there. The 13 of Morgan Mishler. He's on one of the D&D backup bikes. It's one of Dalton's backup motorcycles, but he was up there looking at the high line, and Morgan always, he's known for not following anybody, and he goes up there to 7th in this session. We'll have to, add the sessions between round 1 and round 2 and sort it out and see who is qualified in the top 8 spots. But there is round 2 of qualifying. Dalton Gauthier, 17.822, just a little bit faster than Tom Drain in that first round, 17.892. Drain is 2nd in this round. Jared Lowe up there. How about that dark horse up there 3rd quick? Declan Bender gets up to 4th on that last lap. Aiden Roosevans 5th. Trevor Martin, Morgan Mishler, Sadoff, Ethan Kitchen, and Braden Fanders. So again, it's qualifying. It does matter, but what's going to matter more is at 7:30 when the real green flag drops. We'll see how good they can do when the heat races begin. All right, let's check in with Kristen B, who's caught up with Dalton Gauthier.
Our fastest qualifier, DG, here this weekend. Car tracks have always been so good to you. Why is that?
I grew up on them in Pennsylvania, racing on sprint car tracks a lot. And this clay is really like PA. It gets super slicked off. And it comes in with throttle control. You gotta have a lot of throttle control for this track, and I feel like a lot of these younger kids don't have any throttle control. So
These younger kids don't have throttle control? Shots fired, Dalton.
yeah, the older guy, but yeah, you just gotta be smooth on the gas and try to put the power to the ground. And this track's always suited me well, and yeah, we just keep making changes and keep getting better. So I'm ready for the night show.
I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with the diesel graphics on the bike. I think those need to stay. Like, those got to be lucky.
Yeah, for sure, they'll stay. When they see him on my back fender, I think it scares them away a little bit.
Diesel barking like the big dog, right? Scaring all the guys away in P2. That was very good, Dalton. Well done.
I think he had the Puma on the back of his others right beside
Sponsored
me.
by me.
Yeah, me.
He's saying, I mean, there's something to say there, though. Just the more veteran riders, you're able to be calmer, and, you know, being calm allows you to have more throttle control. When you get all excited, you just start, you know, cranking on stuff. You start twisting things faster.
So during the daytime, it's hard to see if you're using a lot of rear brake, but sometimes when that, you know, when the sun sets, you can see them dragging the rear brake to help with, you know, wheel spin, and that way maybe you can use more throttle than having to barely throw it on, you know, rolling on. Do you think we'll see that later tonight?
It depends. That's like, it's such an interesting topic. Early on in my career, it wasn't really there. And then in the middle of my career, like the later teens and early 2020s, but mainly the later teens, you'd see these guys constantly having glowing brake rotors. Now it seems like we've kind of gone away from that a little bit to where riders are trying to just float more and use less rear brake. Maybe it's the electronics coming in and being able to, because really what they're doing there is just, it's a manual traction control using your rear brake, pushing it down.
Well, and it kind of plants the suspension down, and they leave it sucked down, and then they lift off the brake as they're onto the throttle, and it, you know, pulls them down the straightaway.
Yeah, it sets the chassis,
Correct.
like you were saying. Yeah, it is good for that, like on a rougher track, being able to set the chassis so it kind of binds everything down a little bit. But, you know, when the brake's on, you're not going fast, you're not going forward.
And then when they start heating up, and they're just dragging the whole time, no matter when you let off even. So, you know, you got to be careful with that. So checkered flag flies out here for the American V Twins. Take a look at the replay. 222, Joe Houston on the left side of the screen. Robert Lewis went up the outside, now square off the corner, trying to come up the inside, getting it sideways, using that body English. Robert Lewis, he held a couple different national numbers during his career, 68 and I believe 86. Yeah.
I raced with him in Charlotte in like 2015. I think we had that production twins class, the GNC2. Yeah, he was out there.
Right on. Well, that's it for practice and qualifying. In just a little bit, the fan zone's going to be packed, so you guys can go hang out down there and then come on into the pits. Don't forget there's an autograph session going on the front straightaway down there. Some of our riders will be down there about 5:30. You can also check out the slide school, as there's the qualifying time for round 2 for the American V Twins. Bubba Boswell from Boswell's Harley-Davidson is quick time. Robert Lewis second. Joe Houston third. Chris Boone and Tyler Abney round out your top 5. Again, the fan zone is going to be the place to be. There's food trucks over there. The Adopt-A-Pets are over there. The Christian Motorcycle Association is over there. I think the fire truck had to leave to go check on something else going on, but there's all kinds of stuff happening over there in the fan zone. A bouncy house is over there. Again, we'll have a open paddock area here for a little bit, and opening ceremonies at 7:30 tonight Eastern. And there's the go-kart track where the slide school is going to be going on a little bit later on with Johnny Lewis. And in the meantime, we're going to take a break. We'll be back at 7:30 tonight for opening ceremonies. It is the Yamaha Senoia Short Track. We'll see you guys soon.